long as you don't be a D-bag and freaking try to flip them, then I'm good with it, you know?
Hold those. So we just went live. Hold those up to the camera again. Damn, dude.
Let's go.
Better than
two unis right there, baby.
Right? Man. All right, so I got my goodies box today. We got the MGP sample that Dan and Steven and Jessel Patel from Hammer's Liquor, Eastside Liquor over in downtown Geneva. It's going to be our pick that it's going to be released in like September, I think. It's an MGP Remus. For those of you guys that don't know, it's not the tall bottle; it's the short, stubby bottle. It retails for like $60-ish. So we did a pick with MGP. Unfortunately, I'm in South Carolina now, so I couldn't be there to actually sample it. Branden, his work schedule is pretty crazy, so he couldn't sample it. So the guys were nice enough to send us samples of the actual MGP that they picked. So we're gonna kind of go through the tasting notes on that one. Steven is getting off of work here in a couple of minutes, and he's gonna hopefully log in and maybe walk us through why they didn't choose some of the other ones. So Steven and Dan, as well as the owner, one of the owners of Hammer's Eastside Liquor over there in Geneva, I want to say it was like January 23rd or something like that. Was it, Brandon, or was it February? Or
it was in February. It was probably only like 3 weeks ago, maybe something like that. Middle of February.
It really wasn't that long ago. So they sat down with Joe Cars, who's the Midwest sales guy for MGP, and they sampled through some barrels, and this was the one that won the tasting. So for those of you guys that don't know, they got sent, I think, four samples from different barrels. Typically, what happens is you just choose whichever one you like the best, but you also have the option of just not choosing any of them and just saying, I don't really care for any of these. Let's get another batch in. This one really stood out though as something that would be really easy drinking, and really palatable. So.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll.
Yeah, man, I'm like, I haven't had any of the Remus stuff, so I'm kind of excited just to see what it's about,
Yeah, and this one is 111.2 proof, I think, is what it comes out to. So it's a little bit higher. First thing I get on the nose, obviously, is like ethanol. I mean, it's just.
Yeah.
There we go. It's starting to come through a little bit.
I'm gonna say now that it's set in the glass a little bit, it's definitely opened up and got a little bit better. I'm getting a lot of caramel, that's for sure.
I'm gonna let mine sit and air out for a minute. I also got a goodie box today. One of the things I'm not going to open until Steven said he'd shoot me a text when he gets home from work, so that I can open one of the things that is in the box next to me. I did get some beer. I got some beer from Pollyanna. Dan and Steven met up there one night and were able to pick me up some beer. So I got some Crowlers. Nice. I got some of my favorite of the fun size, which we don't have Pollyanna down here, so it's good to have some beer from back home. I also got finally came in, so I'm going to open this tonight. And of course, the latest release. I am a sucker for the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. This is the latest release of the A121, coming in at way lower proof at 123.6.
Nice.
So I'm going to be interesting to see how that one fares tonight. And I'm really excited to finally open this. I mean, I know we sampled through it, but it was like 3 months ago, something like that we sampled through it. So I'm really happy this came in.
Yeah, I think like I said, I seen that message. I think it's gonna. This one has the bottles open for a little bit. It's gonna be the same. It's gonna open up a little bit more and be really good because that sample that we had that night, man, it was awesome. So I'm excited about it for sure.
Yeah, I've heard some people say in the group that this it needs to open up a little bit, which it is expected. Most of these. This is a little bit higher in proof too. This is 110.7. So this one definitely needs to open up a little bit, regards to the glass gem. But the
yeah, for sure.
The MGP is definitely I like the nose on this one.
Yeah, I was gonna say it has just a really nice smell to it. As my dog is. Hey, going after the tripod here. Hey, what do you get? I mean, I still get caramel. It's got a sweet nose to it for sure.
It does have a really sweet nose to it.
Not as much ethanol as it did now that it sat for a minute too.
Definitely not. Yeah, this one is yeah, it's definitely on the nose is a little bit sweeter.
Did they
give us
like,
what's that?
Did they give us any information just like in general on some of the other ones that they tried? Kind of like, I guess you said, is Steven going to jump on just so we have an idea like where the decision making came?
So Dan was there, Steven was there. Dan is at work right now,
Okay.
and Steven will be home. Said in about 20 minutes or so.
Oh, okay.
We
Cool.
might be able to have him hop on. I did take notes because I was actually able to. Dan was actually able to FaceTime me, and I was actually able to watch the tasting.
Good deal. Okay.
But for those of you who are watching, unfortunately, we weren't at the sampling, so we weren't able to go through like all 4 or 5 or whatever samples. So we're basically sampling the one that they picked. Which is 111, I think like 111.2 proof. It's a higher rye. I want to say, oh man, I wish I still had my notes. I have no idea what even happened to them. Actually, I do. I got them right here.
I might have it in the thread too. Yeah, I was bummed that the night that they tried it, I just got caught up at work, but it sounds like they had a really good time. Obviously, pretty big deal that we get an opportunity to get an MGP pick for the group. I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I know I have the thread too. There were some notes that Dan had sent over. I'm pulling up the thread right now just so we had an idea of what's going on. Let's see.
Man, I could have sworn Oh, here we go. 6.5 year, 53-gallon barrel. But I wrote down. I guess I didn't. Man, I hate when I throw away notes.
Yeah, so this is the notes.
Cinnamon coming through on this one.
Yeah, so this is just a recap from Dan. He said we sampled 4 bourbons. 2 of them were excellent right out of the gate, but we quickly eliminated number 3. Number 4 lacked any nose. 5 was interesting and was the darkest. He said I got a smoky note, not peat, but barrel char on number 5. Let's see. Number 2 is the winner.
Man, I'm getting like cinnamon and nutmeg on there. A little bit of clove. Tiny hint.
Yeah, I get the cinnamon
like
now.
A little bit of saddle leather almost.
Yeah.
But there's something sweet in there too, and I can't put my finger on what that is. Spearmint.
Yeah, it's like
spearmint.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's almost like a mint to it a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, some spearmint. I get that. Yeah. Oh, you say that. Can you grab my charger real fast? The one
so it
that's
doesn't drink like 110 proof?
The long cord.
Or 111 proof?
Wow,
I mean, I get like a little bite on the. I get a little bite. So somebody asked, who does new phone working with a distillery? Yeah, so I don't know. So it just pops up as Facebook user, so I don't know who it was that said that. Hold on, let me see if I can scroll. Who was it? Nick Reimer, probably. Let me scroll down here. I'm gonna see if I can kind of flip back and forth with everybody. I guess not. Yeah, so this is MGP. This is going to be the MGP Remus, not the Remus Repeal Reserve, not the tall, skinny bottle, but the short, stubbier bottle. Yeah, there's like a spearmint
Yeah, I get a little heat just on the front part of the tongue, which is kind of interesting. Just sits like right on the front half of your tongue.
This is really good.
Yeah.
This is real good. Where's my pen?
Yeah, it's.
So it gets you. I get it like right here on the side of the tongue, like typically where you would get like that hoppy bitterness, like where you would feel that hoppy bitterness from like an IPA. That's where I get it, like right on the side of the tongue there. Oh, and something's coming through.
Fix my camera here. It's sliding down.
Cherry brown sugar.
Sorry, my camera. Hang on 1 second.
You get some like chocolate covered almond in there too, like a dark chocolate covered almond.
Here we go. Getting a little adjustment here.
Oh, Dan is watching. Yeah, that's right. I forgot he's watching from work right now.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah, Dan is watching from work right now. Let's see if I can get to. I'm reading through Dan's notes in the comments here. Dan working hard. He's working hard from the camera room. From the camera room. God, the nose on this one's so good too. I'm gonna let that one sit for a little bit. I'm gonna come back to that one because that one's really, really, really interesting. I have been dying to open up the glass gem.
Okay, let's do it. And for some reason, my camera will not stay where it's at, so that's why I'm. Hang on 1 second. Sorry, I'm having a little difficulty here.
I have been so excited about this, guys. If you guys were able to get in on the glass gem, please comment and let me know. Let us know what you guys thought. I haven't had it since the sampling, like I don't know, 4 months ago, something like that. So I'm really excited to revisit it.
All right, let's do it.
Glass gem.
Great sticker, by the way. Nice job, Mike. It turned out really nice.
I thought I did pretty good. So we work with a guy named Jeff, and he'd been doing some stickers for us. He did the stickers for the 2 barrel picks with Boot Hill, and I got so excited about this one that I was just like, you know what, I have software, like I use a software that I can kind of make my own, so why not give it a shot? And when you had mentioned that it kind of reminds you of Werther's Original, ooh, the cork almost came off. When you said it reminds you of Werther's Original, like it's kind of like that suggestive selling where it's like you say something and automatically it pops into my head and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, it does taste like Werther's Originals. But I wanted the label to look like a bag of Werther's Originals. So if you look at a bag of Werther's Originals and look at the sticker, the 2 are pretty darn close. So that was the idea. And obviously, I liked the stick. I mean, they're just fun to put on there. They don't really help sell the bottle at all. It's just a fun thing to put on there. Somebody that recently did an MGP here. I'm going to put this up on the screen here. Recently did an MGP with Savage and Cook. And there was one that was out of this world, different, delicious, but at the end of the day, we just couldn't imagine drink. Yeah, some of these, oh man, getting like the cinnamon Red Hots.
Yep. This one, it definitely isn't as, as we let it sit here might change, but it definitely isn't as like, that sample right out of the gate was straight like out like of a Werther's bag of candy. This one definitely, like I said, I think that when I when I had the first pour out of this bottle, for me it was a little bit more ethanol forward than what the sample was. But again, I think it'll open up. I mean, it's already starting to change a little bit as it's in the glass here. But
God, just the nose on this, like it's so unique. The nose on this glass
yeah,
gem. And if you guys have never seen glass gem corn, it's literally we put a picture of it on the label. It looks like a bag of jelly beans is what it looks like.
yeah.
And as far as we know, unless anybody can tell us otherwise, this is the first and only whiskey that has been, we'll say, released to the public, even though it's a private pick, so it's not really like a released to public whiskey. The first one that at least has been bottled using glass gem corn.
Yeah. It's amazing how much it's changed just over the past 2 minutes, that I poured it. What do you think?
It's like classic whiskey Acres, right? So it's got that beautiful cereal grain note to it. Peanutty, like roasted peanuts.
Yeah, that's what I got a lot of in that first pour too. Is a real nutty taste to it.
But it's
again,
it's
I mean, for
buttery.
yeah, and I mean for 100 was that 110.7. I mean, it does not, burn at all. It's got a smooth finish on it. It's really good.
I'm gonna reset my nose here so I can go. I want to go back to this MGP. Yeah, it's definitely tamed a little bit. That like red hot cinnamon note, or like that spearmint note, has like it's mellowed out a little bit, so it's pretty. It's got like that sweeter nose.
I'm getting a lot more leather now, or like just more of like a earthy kind of smell to it.
I still get like a real dark chocolate, like dark chocolate covered like almond or something. There's something that's like real buttery down the center of the palate.
Yep. I do like how it kind of just coats the tongue a little bit more, though.
It does, yeah.
It just kind of sits there for a second. And I mean, it's not overwhelming by any means, but at least gives you a little something.
I'm gonna pull open a timer because the finish on this one is pretty. I like the finish on this one. The finish is still going. I get a little bit of peanut in there. Color is real nice too. It's like got that real like nice, light golden, light amber.
Yep. Yeah, this one has that like cinnamon red hot to me. It's kind of like the first like 4 or 5 seconds is straight like cinnamon candy kind of almost.
That's what I'm saying. It's got like that real good cinnamon red hot, but not like overly spicy. That finish, man, holy cow.
What's interesting is like for how sweet of a nose it has, it's really not that sweet, on the palate.
No, the nose is like, the nose on this one is kind of soft. It's kind of sweet. The palate is it's not super spicy. It's not super harsh. I can still the finish is still going. We're at like 40 seconds. I'm gonna be upset when this sample is gone.
I know. And you said this one will be ready in September?
Yeah, so this one typically with barrel picks like this, especially from like the bigger distilleries like MGP, they take a little bit longer. They have to. You're basically waiting in line, right? So whoever the first one is to get their pick in, they'll get their barrel first. Finishes just shy of about a minute and a half. It's not terrible, not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this one will be released in September for Bourbon Heritage Month. It's going to be. We'll probably open it up to pre-sales to the group. Have no idea what price point yet, but it's going to be. It's because it's a private pick. It'll probably be a few dollars over what normal MSRP is, which I want to say is like $55 or $60 or something like that for the bottle for a 750. So not too crazy. Anything that we're not able to pre-sell to the group will be for sale on the shelf at Hammer's East Side Liquor over on the east side of Geneva. That's weird. I'm getting like a tanniny.
Yeah. So a couple more notes from Dan. Says it was like a 6-year-old lower rye mash bill. Around 111 proof. He said the unique thing about this one is it's from the co-op. Believe he called it Zach's Co-op. So
Zach's cooperage, which is he said it was the first time that MGP has ever used that cooperage.
Yeah. So, I guess those barrels were hard to come by when they purchased them. So pretty cool stuff.
Man, I can't get over that cinnamon red hot. It literally reminds me of opening up a box of those red cinnamon Mike and Ike candies. Those things.
Yeah, the little tiny ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
God, that nose just keeps changing, but I still get that that cinnamon red hot, some spearmint down there. It's a little bit sweeter.
Do you know? Just curious, and maybe this is a question the group might want to know the answer to, is when you do an MGP pick, how do they decide? How do they decide it's going to Remus or whoever it's going to? Do you know how that decision's made?
So we specifically with MGP, what they did with us is we didn't pick from a distillery that's sourcing from MGP.
Yep.
Right. So like Traverse City, right, or insert distillery name here that's sourcing from MGP. Those picks are MGP juice, but it's from the distillery that you're buying it from. We are literally getting an MGP, Midwest Grain Producers Incorporated pick specifically for us. What's up, Wilson? Hey, Dina. Wilson says hi. She says hi, Wilson. So we have the option of picking either the Rossville Union Rye or the MGP Remus, the stubby bottle. The Rossville Union Rye. Here's Steven. I'll open that box in just a minute. But you didn't really miss a whole lot. We're doing the MGP pick, sampling through it right now. But anyways, we chose the Remus. I would like to do a Rossville Union Rye. I really, really do like that rye, especially at cask strength. It's a really, really, really good rye. I think realistically, though, after we do Sonoma, which will be ready in about 3 weeks, and then after the Whiskey Acres Rye, honestly, I think the next rye that we're going to pick is, coincidentally, that Wilson is here, is probably going to be from Union Horse.
Union Horse, nice.
So good. So that one will probably be the next rye pick that we do, but that's
nice.
early next year. But I wanted to do the Remus because it was, I really, really enjoy it. I really like it. And it's just a really great kind of all around sipping bourbon.
Yep. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
MGP bourbon is dead. Group is moving to craft beer. Yeah, those guys did a really good job, man. They did a really good job. I mean, obviously we weren't there to sample everything back to back, but wow.
Yeah, I'm happy with. I'm definitely happy with what they picked. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna be realistic. That's gonna be for me. So to give you guys an idea, I only got 1 bottle of this. I should have got 2. I got 2 bottles of the Sonoma Rye because it's so effing good. That Remus is a 2 to 3 bottle. That's a 2 to 3 bottle buy for me, easily.
Yeah, it's
going to be a 2 to 3 bottle buy.
I'm excited for it.
So
for
set
sure.
aside that. I'm going to move back to Steven is here now. So Steven, I got the box. I opened it earlier today. There were some beers in there, guys. We did have the Fun Size Bananas Foster. We have the Fun Size Toasted Marshmallow. Steven, can you write in the comments? This is a crowler. This is Raspberry Vanilla Allure. I can't see what it is. Raspberry Vanilla something or other, but it's in a crowler, so that one's going to have to be opened with some friends. He also sent this from St. Errant Brewing in Chicago. This is a little 8-ounce. This is called Gorilla Cookies. It's an imperial stout with hazelnut. Branden looked like Branden logged off. He'll be back on in a minute. Imperial stout with hazelnut, cinnamon, coffee, and cocoa nibs. And I don't have, in the Airbnb we're staying in, we don't have any like beer glasses. So I'm drinking it out of a rocks glass, which is, whatever. Okay, and that is correct. So this is a Raspberry Vanilla Allure. So I'm really, really excited for that one. Also got like I said, we got the glass gem. Opened up and poured a little bit of the Elijah Craig A121. As soon as Branden comes back here, I'm going to go grab the C920 to compare it to the last release. What the sample came in Spanish says muestra de heces, which is Spanish for stool sample. So I got a little kick out of that one. So thank you for the sample there, Stephen. All right, now he had texted me and he goes, Dan and Stephen and I have a group chat that's been going on for a long time. And Stephen is like, I also sent you something else in there as a housewarming gift. And the first thing that popped into my head was like, oh my God, this is going to be a whole bunch of those little airline bottles filled with like 99 bananas, right? That real gross like banana liqueur. So I see this box in there and I'm like, oh, sweet Japanese whiskey. Like maybe and it's got some weight to it. I'm thinking like maybe they actually got me some Japanese whiskey. And then I thought, I'm like, no, they didn't. Why would they do that? So whatever is in this box is probably going to be horrible. So let's see. God damn it. It is. It's a whole bunch of airline bottles. There's Milort, which I love Milort. It's Milort, 99 pineapples, 99 apples, 99 watermelon, 99 butterscotch. Ew. 99 bananas. So those are super, super gross, but the Milort is really good. So
that's
Stephen,
hilarious.
I'm going to actually share these. So being in South Carolina, like people don't know what Milort is down here. And if you do have heard of it or have ever had it, it's not a love-hate relationship. It's just like, why are you drinking this? Like this is absolutely disgusting. Yeah, 99 apples actually doesn't sound that bad. 99 watermelon. I'm trying to think of like what I can, like how I can mix these in with a cocktail.
You should just put them all together with some fruit punch and make some jungle juice.
Yeah, for real, right? Yeah. Oh my God. Honestly, I saw this and I thought, oh man, those guys are awesome. Like, got me a real good Japanese whiskey. I'm like, no, the fuck they didn't. They didn't give me no nice Japanese whiskey. Oh well, such is life. But Stephen, thank you for this. I feel like I've been waiting forever for this to finally open the box and actually sample through everything. Branden, go on about the glass gem. I'm going to be back in like 10 seconds. I'm going to go grab the last release of the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof.
Sweet. Yeah, as Mike was saying, I was just cracking the Whiskey Acres barrel pick that we did, the glass gem where there's Acres second pour. So far, so good. I've let it sit in the glass a little bit here the past like 3-4 minutes as we've been talking, and it's really starting to open up more like how that sample was. I think one of the Dans was saying that after that first pour, if you kind of just let it sit, get the neck pour out, and then try it again, it really kind of opens up a little bit more. It really is back to that where there's just candy on the nose right there. Yeah, it's good. I'm curious to hear if anybody's on right now. Shoot some comments in with your thoughts. If you cracked the Werther's Acres bottle yet, I kind of been watching the Facebook page just to see if anybody's been cracking that bottle. But I'm curious to hear everybody's thoughts.
Okay, so I grabbed 3, and I grabbed 3 of them because they are relatively close. So C920, this past September, October's release of 2020, came in at 132.8. B520 came in at 127.2, and B519 came in at 122.
Yep,
This latest release, yeah, B519. So I got B519 here. I also have A120. So I have all of 2020's release. And then I have B519, and now I have A121. So I want to kind of I love to compare them, because they're in the same proof style. But I think I'm going to do the C920 because that was 132 proof. So what's 123? I'll do B519. You have B519?
Yep, I'll do it with you.
Oh, okay, so we'll do B519.
I will say this is like one of the few like barrel proof bottles that, for me, and again, this is just my opinion, is it came off super hot for me. Some of the other ones that are higher proofers like haven't really bothered me much, but this one for some reason just got me.
God, I went back to the Whiskey Acres, the glass gem.
Yeah, I was just talking about it, yeah.
Dude, for real, but like straight just butterscotch caramel. Like it's like those soft candy chews.
Yep.
This one
That's what I
definitely
said.
you have to let sit for a couple minutes. And
yeah, I think honestly, you pour this in a glass, walk away for 3-4 minutes, and come back, and it's solid. It's really good. I was disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. The first pour that I had, but I was like so excited that I just started drinking it right off the bat, And now that I've let it sit, it's really opened up, and it's actually really nice and smooth.
Yeah, for real. This one definitely. Yeah, 100% agree. Everybody, and that's the one thing. Like a chocolate covered. It's like a chocolate covered cherry that I got on the finish. Chocolate covered raspberry.
It's still just so butterscotch on the nose. I love it.
Oh, for sure. It's straight up butterscotch on the nose. That's the one thing that I've been seeing most commonly that people have been saying with the glass gem is that initial sip is like, it's just okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. I'll agree 100% agree with it. Yeah, you got to let it. It's been sitting for. We've been on for what? It's been sitting for maybe like, I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Much better. Much better.
Much better. Yeah, that nose is just pure butterscotch caramel. There's some like milk chocolate in there. A little nutty. Yeah, we picked a good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm happy with that one.
All right, so I'm going to set that one. I'm going to set that one up here. I got one more Glencairn. One more clean one.
I haven't visited this bottle in a long time. Just like I said, I kind of got put off at how hot it was, and you spend $75-$80 and all the hype, and I was like, wait a minute. But it's going to be nice to just that B519, the one that we're about ready to try. That.
So I absolutely love the Elijah Craig barrel proof. Anytime they come out, I'm I feel fortunate enough that I'm usually able to find them like right around that $60 mark. Certainly not down here in South Carolina, but I do have, obviously I've got friends back home that are usually willing to ship me some stuff. So I have yet to try the A121. I poured it and let it sit for a little bit. Comes in at 123.6 proof, and I'm comparing it with the B519, which is 122.2 proof. So they're pretty close in proof.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard that the A121 is a little bit like smokier and meatier this year than it is in years past. It doesn't have that like fruity, like dark, like stewed fruit notes to it.
Yep.
ECA 121 has grown on share, so that must be Nick. Greatly over the month. Here we go. Put it up here. Really starting to enjoy it now. B520 is great. Best nose. 100% agree. The B520, I'm so hesitant to drink the rest of it because it's like one of those that I just want to
savoring that one.
Savoring.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Yeah, I was reading about, for the longest time I had this bottle, and I was reading and never realized that like the age statement is just on the side. Like, I guess I just never thought to look at it. It's actually like a 12-year-old bourbon. Like, I just, for some reason, I don't know why, I just didn't think that it had an age statement because I'm used to, only ones, just like straight up on the front will tell you 18, 23, whatever.
Sweet flex there, Brandon. Sweet flex.
Do you try it?
Yeah, so it's it's definitely different.
I'm not getting anything super unique on the nose. I mean, pretty much the usuals. Sweeter nose too, to be honest.
The B519 to me is like fruit that you would get in like a pie, almost.
Yeah, it's definitely fruit forward.
Warm fruit.
It's just are you like the tongue on it's super high, but the finish doesn't travel very far.
No, it doesn't. It's like
it just kind of sits on your tongue.
On the 519, it just sticks on your tongue. It doesn't really go
down to your chest.
Doesn't really go much farther. Who was this? Was this also Nick? Seriously dangerous neck pours 30 to 45 minutes and a legit change. Yeah, I'll agree with that. I think that was probably Nick.
Yeah, I've read that several times about the barrel proofs. Is like you got to let these sit for a while and then they turn out a lot better. I agree.
I'm gonna let these two sit for a few minutes. I wish I had like a beer that wasn't a stout that I could like. I don't want to open that giant crowler because it's just me right now drinking. I'm gonna go back to the.
I killed my that where there's acres, man. It's growing on me a lot.
God, the nose on this one. I can't believe this one, and it sold out so quick too. I mean, I think it sold out, and I want to say it was about 24 hours. I think it was here and gone.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have, for those watching, we also have the Whiskey Acres Rye, which remember we also picked along with the glass gem.
When will the rye be ready?
The rye will be ready as soon as we're able to sell approximately 90 bottles. So I guess this is probably a good opportunity. What are we, 39 minutes in? This will be probably a good opportunity to explain to everybody how it works. We're basically, what happens is we're pre-selling the bottles. I mean, Brandon, you know this. Like, we're basically pre-selling the bottles. So think of it like crowdsourcing. So essentially, when you are pre-buying a bottle, you're not buying the physical bottle, you're basically sending money for the right to take home a bottle. That's pretty much what you're doing. Yep. You know, it's not like you send money and then you just go to the liquor store or whomever and you can go pick it up like right then and there. That's not how it works. Basically, we have to crowdsource the funds to buy X amount of bottles. So the 25-gallon barrel, which is typically what we do, we're going to yield about 90 to 110 bottles, roughly. It's somewhere in that area. So usually what we'll do is we'll sell 100 bottles worth. Yep. So that we have that money so that we can then buy that barrel, contact the distillery, say, hey, here's, you know, go ahead and it's ready. We've got everything. Go ahead and bottle it. They'll bottle it. They'll ship it to, you know, either Oak and Swine, which is who we primarily deal with, or they'll ship it to Hamar's in Geneva, and then people go in and pick up their bottle. That's what we did, and that's what we're doing in this particular case. So essentially what we're doing with Whiskey Acres is we're picking a barrel, they're bottling it, and then they're selling it to me from the gift shop, right? So rather than, you know, a normal barrel pick where with MGP, we pick the barrel, they barrel it or bottle it, and then they go through their distribution channels and go through all their routes that they have to go through to get it to Hammer's Liquor over on the east side of Geneva. That's a little bit different. Is that the Sonoma Rye available? That's pretty similar to how we did the Sonoma Rye. It's almost exactly that way. That one will be ready. We're still waiting on that one. That one's basically, like I said, we're just waiting in line. We were the fifth barrel pick for 2021. So barrel pick, whoever did number 1, 2, 3, and 4, theirs got sent out first via the distributor. And then in between those, they have to bottle their own releases. They have to bottle their own bourbon and their own rye and their own cherry smoked bourbon, their own cherry smoked rye. So we're basically just waiting in line, essentially. Yep. There's really not much anything I can do. You know, I can't send an email and be like, come on, guys, where is it? We got people waiting. You know, it's just kind of one of those things. It just sucks, but you know, we're waiting in line. But I think last time I talked to the guys, he said it was like 3 weeks out. So it should be pretty soon. But that's how we did it with Whiskey Acres. We basically we sampled some stuff. We told them, you know, okay, we're going to put it on sale, pre-sale. We ended up selling 100 bottles of it. The barrel only yielded 90 bottles of it. So for those of you that missed out on it, I apologize. It's, you know, I wish I had the extra 10 bottles, but I don't. You know, it's just not the way the world works. And then they bottle it. They slap a sticker on it. They go through whatever legal channels that they have to do. And then essentially what they do is they put it on the shelf at the distillery. And then I would go in and buy everything. And that's essentially what we did. So that's how that one works. So everything was all, you know, fine and dandy and it worked out really well. But like I said, we have the Whiskey Acres Rye. We're just waiting on 40 more bottles, 40 or 50 more bottles to sell. Once we get to the 90 bottle mark, that's where we'll probably, you know, cut it off. So if you guys are interested in the rye, man, that rye, Branden, right?
Yeah, it was good.
That was real. It was a real unique rye. I remember you had mentioned that it kind of has that like that wild turkey funk.
Yep.
And you're
I brought it. I got it back up here too. Yep.
Are we reviewing the gem tonight? Just wondering. As a matter of fact, yes, we are. Yeah, this one where do we get the info to buy? Shoot me a direct message on Facebook, and I will send you the info later on tonight, later on this evening on how to reserve for the Whiskey Acres Rye or the Sonoma Rye. There's still, I mean, there's technically not really any spots open for the Sonoma, but we can squeeze a few more people in for pre-sales at least. If you aren't able to get on the pre-sale, you can still go to Oak and Swine in a few weeks and pick up a bottle. It's just going to be a few bucks more. Is that gem the bottle from Whiskey Acres? Yes, it is. So this is the one that we picked directly from Whiskey Acres a few months ago. This one is super unique because it's the first bourbon that we know of that's bottled using glass gem corn.
Mm-hmm. It's exactly how it was now when we sampled it for me. Smells like where there's candy, and then it has the same flavor. And it's it's sat for a little bit now too.
Yeah, this one definitely needs to sit for a few minutes. It needs to just kind of like air out a little bit. Let all the ethanol in the glass just kind of evaporate away. Yeah, that one's absolutely fantastic. It's like super buttery and
Yep.
sweet, chewy candy, chewy caramel, and butterscotch on the nose. It's got real great sweet palate to it, but it's not like overly sweet. Somebody had mentioned that, like, oh man, you had mentioned that it's really sweet. I don't know if I really want it. It's not like overly like suckily sweet, like a candy. I mean, how would you describe the sweetness on it?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like I still have my notes in here too. It's just like I said, it's got a really approachable nose, as far as like a sweetness to it. But then when it goes, right on the palate, it's got like a nice, just perfect amount of spice. It's smooth, for 110. Like on here, I said I couldn't believe it was 110 proof. Yeah, I mean, I think it's got like the nose that you're like, I want to try it, and then it's got the palate that's like, ooh, I want to have a little bit more, and not like, ow, it's hot, or it's too much.
Yeah, for 110 proof, this is super approachable. It's not super hot. I mean, it's not too hot. It's not too sweet. It's not
Yep.
Peppery or anything like that. I mean, this is just really. I mean, I think if you go back to, if you're a Whiskey Acres fan, I think you can pretty easily tell that this is definitely a Whiskey Acres bourbon.
I would say, like, if you're gonna look at I guess a sweetness scale, or however you want to put it, like the port finisher, so the like Angel's Envy, things like that typically finish quite a bit sweet. Like, this I would say is not even really close to that. It has a very sweet nose to it, but it doesn't finish, or it doesn't on the palate. It's not, it's not like candy, I guess, on the palate.
Yeah,
But it has some great flavor.
This one was cask strength. So this one, I remember when we sampled it, Nick got on with us and he said, these are all pretty close to like that 120 proof range. So this one came in at 110.7, which is cask strength. You're right. It's not like overly sweet on the palate. I don't want to say meaty, but it's got like an unctuousness.
Yep. It's got a creaminess to it for sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna let that one sit a little bit longer. I'm gonna go back to the B519 because I'm really curious. A lot of people have been saying that the A121 is just way different than the barrel proofs have been in the past.
You gonna crack it?
So this is B519. This is A121.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, so you can definitely smell the age on that one. You can smell the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
You can smell the rickhouse
in
the B519. I mean, it almost smells like walking into the.
Yeah, it does.
It smells like walking into a rickhouse.
Yep. Outside of that, I mean, personally, there's nothing like super unique about it, other than, I mean, it's the usuals, the vanillas, the caramels. It's got a little bit of oak to it. But
so somebody asked, how many picks are you looking to do this year? So let's see so Boot Hill was 2. Whiskey Acres will be 4. Sonoma, MGP, Starlight, and Whiskey Acres maple syrup will be in the fall. So 8 in total. 8 in total this year. Realistically, next year I'd like to shoot for like that same number, maybe 10. We'll talk about the Starlight here in a few minutes. But yeah, we'll have eight in total this year. So a handful more. So somebody asked, I'm new, what do the acronyms stand for? So Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, it's ABC. A being what release it is. A is the first one. B is the second one. C is the third one. You've got the. It's also kind of, it correlates to the time of year. So there's 3 releases a year. So A is going to be January.
Yeah.
Which is A1, which is January. B5, which is release number 2, which is May, which is the 5th month. So that's B5. And then C, which is the 3rd release, and that's always 9, and that's in September. So A1 January, B5 May, C9 September. And then the last 2 numbers, 2021, is the year that it was released.
Yep.
So A121 is batch A, released in January, or bottled in January of 2021. We're also sipping on B519, so B batch 2, 5 May, and 19 was that it was released in 2019. So those are how, if you collect them like we do, that's how you can tell. Maple finish is interesting. I have a Widow Jane like that. Anything that's finished in maple syrup, yes, for real, is so good. So good.
I don't think I haven't tried anything out of the maple cast, I don't think.
Yeah, that's different, man. That A121.
As in good, bad, weird?
It's good. It's real good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real good. But with these, unless you're getting multiples of them at one given time, like if you were to go in and just clean off the shelf, this isn't going to be something that I sip on pretty regularly.
Yeah,
this for me is like what I would consider like a weekend sipper, it's, like Friday night, it was a, tough week at work, and you're like, I just want something that's high proof that's just going to knock me on my ass.
That's what I was going to say.
That's what I like. That's what I like these for. That, and they make really good cocktails too.
Yeah. This is the one that I'm having like at the end of the night, and I'm ready to go to sleep, and it puts me right to bed.
Yes. So if you haven't had any of the Elijah Craig, if you can't find the barrel proof, the small batch is definitely worth trying.
Yeah.
I would recommend, and Dan Johnson hit the nail right on the head, look for a store pick. The store pick Elijah Craig small batches are always better than just the regular release Elijah Craig small batch.
This one's from back home. This is from Bottles Unlimited back home. But yeah, dude, for like $30, like the store picks are awesome, and they make great old fashions. Like, yeah, you cannot go wrong with those.
Yeah, they're like that $30 to $35 range.
Yeah. Niche always does a bunch of them too, and he has great pricing on those as well.
We just I just sampled one. It was like before I moved down here. There you go. That's the one this is the one I was literally just going to mention, was the Hammers pick. It was so good. And I really regret not picking up a bottle of it, because it was just, man, those guys do some really good picks. And that's why we wanted to partner with them for the MGP pick. Because they just have, the guys have just really, really good palates. Starlight pick. You're kind of the head. You're the head on this one, man. Talk to us about your Starlight pick. And I say your Starlight pick, but it kind of is your Starlight pick.
Yeah. No, I'm excited about this one. It's this is going to be a if I can get it in line here. So I don't know if anybody out there has had any of the Starlight stuff, but this is going to be a hometown pick for me. So, it's going to be interesting, because last year I didn't get a chance to go back home, obviously with the COVID and all that situation going on. So, for one, it'll be nice to be back around the hometown, and then to get a chance to pick some bourbon is going to make it even more fun. So, so I grew up with the Hubers, went to high school with the family. I've known the family for a long time, and I grew up, and they were the winemakers, man. They had some phenomenal and fantastic wine that pretty much everyone knew about. Obviously, they have a great farm and experience there on that part, but really weren't into as far as the bourbon and whiskey market yet. And it wasn't until I kind of moved away and they started getting into it. And Christian was in my brother's class, so known him and kind of seen him grow up a little bit. It's pretty cool to see what they're doing. So I think as you guys know, they're kind of blowing up right now. Benny's has done several picks. You're starting to see picks pop up all over the country. So I talk to Christian now, and it's like it takes me a day or two to get a hold of him versus last year I could just send him a text, and all of a sudden I get an answer. So it's going to be fun. Yeah, I messaged and talked with him last weekend, and he was kind of trying to get an idea of what we wanted. And I said, well, it's like, let's go wherever you got those barrels buried that, you got something interesting. Let's pull those out. And he was like, for sure, let's make it happen. So that's going to be a fun one.
You're going down there. So Dan Johnson is watching.
Yeah.
He actually lives like 20 minutes away from there in Louisville.
Nice.
So he's gonna meet you there. And then you got some buddies that are going to go with you. So that one will be available to the Fox Valley Whiskey Society. I'm sure it'll probably also be available to your followers on Instagram. Brandon, I don't know what you want to do with that, but
yeah,
definitely super, super, super excited. How much does a Starlight run? I want to say like normal retail is like $50 or $60.
Yep, it's going to be probably around there.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So it's not super expensive. Usually the store pick, yeah, there you go. Store picks are right around $65. So, but man, Starlight, dude, I'm telling you, if you haven't had, their rye is fantastic. Their bourbon is just so unbelievably good. Dan Johnson sent me. Dan, did you send me 2? Did I get 2 from you of those Starlights? I think. Oh no, it was the new riff. It was the new riff that you sent me 2 of. That Starlight it's just so good, and they're really, really hot right now. They're on everybody's radar, and we're just because of your connection. Are they hard to come by? They can be. Store picks can be kind of hard to come by because they're on everybody's radar right now, so they can be hard to come by. But luckily, we've secured a barrel of something, so. We'll see what you guys pick. That one's going to be a live stream though too. You're going to live stream. I think you're going to live stream from directly from the distillery, right?
Yeah, I'm going to try to do a live stream from the distillery. I'll probably, obviously, if you catch my Instagram 312 Suburban Bourbon, I'm going to be obviously doing stuff on that all day long. Probably going to get a little bit more behind the scenes look at everything. So that'll be awesome to check it out. And yeah, it's going to be a fun day for sure. I'm excited. It'll be good to see those guys too.
Make sure to drink lots of water.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys are going to be going through a ton of barrels, I assume.
Yeah.
And hopefully, whatever you guys happen to pick, is, unique and, interesting and I know you guys will pick a good one, that's for sure. So I'm super, super excited about that one. We've also got this year coming up later on this year, which nothing has been nailed down, but that'll be another pick that Brandon and Dan and Steven and I and someone else, somebody else will be involved with. We like to every now and then when we're able to invite some people from the group. Usually it's just a random drawing, but we'll get some people from the group involved in the actual barrel pick process. Last time with the Glass Gem, we had Erica Davis, and she did a great job. She actually she loved the rye that we picked, so I'm really, really hoping we can nail down the rest of those 40 or 50 other bottles. Yeah, with the maple syrup cask, it'll be you and I, Brandon, Dan, Greisen, Steven, if he wants to be a part of it, and then a lucky 1 or 2 maybe other lucky people that are going to be able to sample through some barrels with us, and we'll do it live. Next year we're looking at, I think the first release that we do next year is probably going to be either from Union Horse or from Tattersall. One of the two. I want to kick off the year with a really, really good rye.
Yeah.
So it's either going to be Tattersall or Union Horse. And then we've got some other ones, kind of in the works for next year. But barrel picks are real tough because you have to get your name in at a certain time. And if you miss that cutoff, it's just kind of like, oh, well, it is what it is. So.
Yeah, I'm excited about the Union Horse one, man. Willie was hopefully he's still on. When I first started my Instagram, he was the first guy that reached out and kind of sent me the blind samples, and I got to do that. That was fun. There's some good stuff from Union Horse too, so I'm excited about that. They're in what, Kansas City? Is that right?
Lenexa, Kansas.
Right around there.
Lenexa, Kansas. Yeah, they're yeah, dude, man, they're barrel proof rye. Holy cow, man! If you guys have not picked up their barrel proof rye from Union Horse, go tomorrow and buy it. I think what would be the closest place? Beer Cellar in Geneva. Probably.
Yeah, they have it. Yeah, I was there. I was there on Sunday. They should have it. Yeah.
So shout out to Dave and Ian over at Beer Cellar in Geneva. What else do we got? What do you got, man? What do you got behind you there, man? You can see what? Tell me about the Shelfie.
Oh God, yeah. I guess when I first started, kind of coined the Sunday Shelfie, and that's really what made my page take off. But yeah, I mean, I just kind of switch it out every week. Got some, some Elijah Craig, some Woodford. Got this the Very Fine Bourbon release, which is a good one. Kind of just been searching around for stuff and found a couple of good ones, I guess, and they make it to the shelf. But the biggest thing, man, is I open all my stuff and drink it. So it's like I don't have multiples of a whole lot of stuff, but I try to I have a lot of open bottles, probably 100 open bottles right now at least. So
yeah, totally Instagram worthy.
Yeah, that's the thing. If whoever's on, please follow the Fox Valley Whiskey Society Instagram page. I'm gonna try to build that up as much as we can. We have a lot of followers on Facebook, but we're struggling a little bit on Instagram. So
yeah, Instagram's tough. It's a tough beast to conquer.
Yeah.
Nick asked, when are we doing a rum pick? Nick, I'll tell you what, if you can somehow get us in with Foursquare, I mean, honestly, to be totally honest, I would take any rum barrel pick. There's some really, really good rums here. I wish they distributed to Illinois, you guys.
Yeah.
1233 Distillery, about 40 minutes north of me in Little River, South Carolina. Man, they got a single barrel rum that is just out of this world. But I wish we could do it. I wish they delivered.
Dude, Beer Cellar is awesome. Sorry, I can't see
Beer Cellar have. Buddy lives in the area, says it's a honey hole. 100%. Yeah. So if
100%.
If you're a beer guy, it's definitely a place that you need to stop in. Even if you're a bourbon or just a spirits guy, Ian does a really, really good job. He's their spirits buyer there. He does a really good job at keeping the place stocked up with some pretty good stuff.
Dude, they have awesome stuff there. Yeah.
Yeah. So Steven said, and they don't have a huge selection, but it's a really nice selection. They're really good at getting like the occasional, like you'll walk in there and you'll see like, Weller Special Reserve for like, $30.
Yeah, so that pricing's great
too. E.H. Taylor for $50, so they do a really, really good job of getting some really good stuff in there. Ian's a great guy. Dude's an encyclopedia of knowledge. I mean, it's like savant level like knowledge on whiskey. So super, super cool guy. If you ever go in there, make sure to talk to Ian about whiskey. Dave is super knowledgeable. Dave's the big guy with the big red beard. Really, really good selection. Good stuff. I definitely recommend. Recommend checking them out. Nick, I guess, just sent some emails to Foursquare. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see a Foursquare rum barrel pick. We'll get with some other distilleries though, because a lot of these distilleries are starting to distill starting to distill molasses and make rum. Pollyanna being one of them in St. Charles, so that might be one that we can definitely work with. There's a lot of comments coming in, and I wish I could figure out how to make them just like directly go to
geography.
Yeah, there you go. They usually Beer Cellar usually does have the 1 liter bottles of Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, they have them right now.
There's a Foursquare rum finished in Weller barrel. Oh, damn!
If we got any brandy fans, Starlight makes a fantastic brandy too. That's kind of like where they started. Yeah.
Yeah, they do make a really good brandy. And that would be something maybe for like 2022. A lot of you guys, some of you guys were asking about like what we're looking for, what we have planned for the rest of the year and coming up next year. So we definitely have been, it has come up several times before that we want to do a rum. It has come up several times before that we want to do either a brandy or an Armagnac. We would love to do some sort of like barrel finishing. So it's it's definitely something that we're working on. It's just a matter of like, we have to make sure that all that stuff is going to sell before before we go too far.
Yep.
So these Elijah Craig barrel proofs.
Yeah, I'll just take a sip of that 519. It's gotten better.
Definitely opened up quite a bit. Hey, Nick, do me a favor. Actually, you know what? Hold on one second. Give me 1 second here because I might actually have it. I don't. Nick Reimer, do me a favor. Send me a private message with your email address if you can.
By the way, if you're looking for a good store pick, dude, get these 1792 foolproof store picks anywhere you can find them because they're freaking fantastic.
That was one that that I have on the list for next year. 1792 is real tough though because obviously that's a Sazerac product. So it's really, really tough to try to get anything from them.
It's a sleeper.
We had been briefly kind of, hinted that we would like to do a foolproof, Weller foolproof pit.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Which would be super, super awesome. And right around the time that it came to like actually picking the, signing up for a barrel, they were sold out. I think it was like 20 minutes. Everything it was like everything for the year had sold out. Now, obviously, we're not warehouse liquors. We're not niche. We're not maize and mash. So, so we don't have special access to that, to that kind of stuff. Give me 1 second here.
I remember when you posted that on the Facebook page. I'm pretty sure it almost shut it down.
We had something like 300 or something comments or something like that. Nick, do me a favor. When you get that email, click on that link and make sure you have something poured with you. When we mentioned the Weller foolproof pick, we had something like 300 comments. So many people were like, oh my God, I got a taste of it, which would be really, really, really great. It would be really, really cool. But that stuff, like, we just don't have the buying power for it. But like, exactly. There's no way we would have the buying power to, influence Sazerac to be like, oh, you should give this random club in the Midwest a barrel of Weller foolproof. And it's the same thing with all theirs. So even if we just wanted like a regular Buffalo Trace, it would have been nearly impossible. So we got a long way to go. But now that we're working really closely with Oak and Swine. We're working, closely with Hammers over in downtown Geneva. We'll hopefully have those guys to help us out and hopefully we can have some like really, really cool. I'd love to have a Weller pick of whatever, whether it's special reserve or antique or whatever. Foolproof. Love to have a 1792 foolproof. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. What? Are you still sipping on that B519?
Yeah, I got the B519. It's actually, I agree. I mean, it's sat for 15, 20 minutes now, and it's not as harsh. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely not as harsh.
Turf Room recently got an Eagle Rare pick. I gotta show you this. That reminds me. Oh, this might be the largest bottle known to mankind.
Oh, you got one of those 1.75s, huh? And that's
This thing, it's a tank. I mean, I could literally hurt somebody with this thing. It's huge. It's like obnoxious. Like I can't put it anywhere because it doesn't fit anywhere. But yeah, it was cool to get a store pick. But it's like, okay, like what do I do with it? It's gonna take me like 4 years to drink it.
What do you guys? I mean, like, what do you guys think? For those of you who are watching, like, I don't particularly care for Eagle Rare, to be totally honest with you. It's like I've had some good. I'll tell you what. I've had a pick from Maize and Mash that is really good. The pick from Niche is really good. But most of, like, anytime I see an Eagle Rare on the shelf, unless it's like $30 or below, I usually just walk right by it.
Yep.
I don't like.
Yeah,
I don't go out of my way.
It's like, for me, it's like that, like Weller Special Reserve. Like I'll like one of those to kind of kick the night off, because it's a lighter proof. Like it's relatively smooth. Like you can, it's one that I loved. Certainly when I first started, drinking bourbon, and probably my palate wasn't used to the heat that some of the other ones bring. So like I think it's a good starter and a good lighter bourbon, I guess, that has some great flavor to it. But I mean, dude, like for $30, a 10-year bourbon, like you can't complain about that. You know,
that's true. It's just like it's so lackluster to me. Like it's
not gonna blow you away.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't really do anything. I just got a message. I just got a message from one of our founding members, Liz. FYI, for those of you who are picking up your bourbon from your glass gem from Oak and Swine, check their hours first. They're not. They do have weird hours. They're not open for a particularly long time. Your best bet is to go go between that 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. hour. So Liz, if you're watching, I apologize, but I'll Liz, I'll make sure you get your bottles. What's up, Nick?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, man?
Brandon, have you ever met Nick?
No,
I have not, man.
Nick, meet Brandon. Brandon, meet Nick. One of our more colorful personalities in the group.
Sure.
So, guys, so we were just talking about Eagle Rare. Nick, you we're not able to get in on the glass gem. We're hoping to get you a bottle. Oh man, that opened up. God damn, that's so good. Hoping to get you a bottle here soon.
I'm gonna go fight for it. I mean, like, full disclosure, I'm gonna totally go there and sorry, I just got real bright. I'm gonna go there and fight with it. Short. So I've been drinking a little, FYI. Sword and shield in hand. I made a trip out to I made a trip out to Gold Eagle today to go chat with my buddy Jeff out there. We had a really good time, and I came home with a big box of stuff. But yes, I'm hoping to go fight for that at Oak and Swine.
At Oak and Swine,
food. Yeah,
definitely. It's I hope everybody picks up their bottle. I'm hoping that everybody I know you don't.
I've had like several people message me. I was like, I missed out on that bottle. Like, I hope people don't pick them up.
Of all the times to travel for work, right? And I'm like, I'll be fine.
Right.
I'm driving. Right? I'll be fine. I'll pay for it tomorrow. Everything's fine. Yeah. And like, okay, it's sold out. Record time. You guys are amazing. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't pay for it though.
So, I'll tell you what, man, it's been a real wild ride. We started the Fox Valley Whiskey Society in April of 2019, and we had tried barrel picks in the past. The first one that we ever tried was with Whiskey Acres. And we had like 400 members, 400 people in the group at the time. And we're like, we can sell 100 bottles to 400 people. Like, that shouldn't be any problem at all. And then we sold like 12 bottles and over a period of 6 weeks. And it was like, this is obviously not happening.
Yeah.
So for the longest time, Dan and Steven and I were just like, we're done. I'm done. I'm not even going to try it because it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
For certain groups, like the Beastmasters Club, Adventures Club, and Adventures Club Bourbon Society, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Those guys, they have a real die-hard group of like 20 or 30 guys that buy cases at a time.
Yeah.
So for us, like, we're all just, here it's more like casual. It's just like a casual thing. Somebody might buy like 1 bottle or 2 bottles. One guy ended up buying, one guy from Wheaton bought 5 bottles of this stuff.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
And I was like, sweet, man.
What's his name and address?
Buy 1 more. Take a whole box home. But it just didn't work out for the longest time. And then we were like, you know what? Screw it, man. Let's try it. Let's try it again. So we tried it with Boot Hill, and we did the virtual tasting with Boot Hill, and those bottles were, that was $120 each. And that was
that's
a really
a pricey bottle.
Weird, unique situation. Yeah. We had to price those bottles at that. Just because of how it was a barrel pick, but it was one of those, like, it was a flat rate fee. It was, regardless of how many bottles you got, it was a flat rate fee for the barrel. You didn't buy the bottles out of the barrel, you bought the whole barrel, regardless of how much it yielded. So that was a really unique situation. That's more for, like, if you got like a wedding party or you got like a bachelor party and you're like, oh, let's go in on a barrel of whiskey, so like that's that sort of thing. We did the virtual tasting and we sold, like 40 bottles at $120 each. And then we were able to get rid of, 10 people to go in at $300 each for the gathering, the unmalted wheat whiskey. And it's the same thing with the Journeyman, which, Nick, you're now a part of. With 10 people at $300 each. It's
dude. I forgot about that one.
I'm
so
so
excited. So did I. Yeah, that's right. You're on it, right?
Yeah. When is that again? Because aren't we supposed to go there this year just to try it?
Honestly, you guys can go there whenever. Just literally just walk in, go there, and just be like, hey, is somebody? I'm a part of the Fox Valley Whiskey Society. I have a barrel downstairs that's aging right now.
Yeah.
Of course, it's Whipson whiskey. I'd like to sample it. And
dude, that bottle,
they'll bring you down there and pull samples from it.
That'll be ready when?
September, October, between September and December, somewhere around there. I think realistically, like, yeah. So that's but that's like a real small, private group. But yeah, we did the barrel pick with Boot Hill, and we're like, well, if people are willing to buy bottles at $120 a bottle, why can't we do Whiskey Acres at $75 a bottle? And it's our hometown distillery, so like, of course. And then it went like that. It was 24 hours and it was gone.
Yeah.
So it was pretty crazy. We went from not being able to sell a single, like, even just a case of a barrel pick to now we're like, yeah, we'll get 2 barrels, sure. So, so it worked out pretty well. Nick, what are you sipping on? So I'm still going back and forth between the 2 barrel proofs.
So I got some cool stuff today. So I picked up number one, I've never seen this out in the wild, so I was really excited to finally get a bottle of Early Times. And I will say, thank you. I will say for $25 and
Agreed.
a liter. Wow.
Yep.
It's like crazy. It's not gonna like blow your mind with any crazy profiles or anything like that. But you taste it and you're like, this is what a bottled and bond whiskey should taste like.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, this is what a bottled and bond bourbon should taste like. So really, really good. Picked up a couple of those. I picked this up out at Gold Eagle because they just got it in. It's from Pepper Distillery.
Oh yeah,
Old Pepper. Yeah.
Yeah, Old Pepper. I've never had Old Pepper before. And it's a store pick and it's a rye single barrel at 110 proof. And I said, yeah, why wouldn't I take it? So grab that. I haven't cracked it yet, so I'll crack that here in a second. I grabbed this, just came in. So I'm sort of a fanboy for these guys. I have a visit scheduled to go down and see them in September. I'm really excited about it. But this is the Fusion 4. So if
I heard the Fusion series is good.
So Fusion 1 was good. 2 was Fusion 3 was all right. It was Tennessee whiskey. If that's your thing. The Fusion 4 is outstanding. Really, really good. So it's sort of like a return to form. Their Discovery series to me is, I mean, I'll sing its praises forever. It rivals Buffalo. I think it's up there with Buffalo Trace Antique Collection in terms of uniqueness, right? Like you taste the Discovery 3 and the Discovery 4. I have both of them cracked open, and both of them I would put up against, I'd say at least the GTS. Yeah, at least a GTS or a WLW in terms of uniqueness. And then last but not least, because it's me and I've really fallen hard for rum, they just got in the Blackwell. It's a pure Jamaican. It's a 007 edition. I thought I was gonna have to import it, as lame as that sounds. But it's a very, very special version of rum that they did with like branding of 007, but it's reviewed terrifically. So I was immediately interested. I do look at reviews initially to sort of gauge like, hey, do I think I'm going to like this or not? But ultimately, I let my taste buds do the talking. And then, I'll give you the last two. I'm sorry, I have so many bottles in front of me. I'm filming a lot of stuff. I picked these two up, and this is like the most divisive bottles in my opinion. So I'm going to show them to you, and I want you to tell me the first word that pops in your head.
Flintstones Vitamin.
Okay.
Yeah. So I haven't had the 15 year. The bottle
roasted almonds
in your left hand or whatever it is.
Yeah. So
Vitamin.
This is this is not the coveted. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I would say, is that the 15 or the 11? I think is what it is.
This is the 11. This is the aged 11 years. Whoops, aged 11 years. There is hell yeah.
That's the 15.
I was just gonna say it's not the coveted 15 2005 one, which I can go. So I have a line on those. I can get those, but they want way too much for them. They want $150 a bottle for them, and I'm like, nah, dude, no. That's an expensive dickel. So it is, and I will say, like, that's outstanding. That 15 year is outstanding. The 11 year though, what do you think of it, man?
It's like, it's when I did them side by side, and I'm like,
well,
like it's not even close. Dude.
That's not fair.
The 15 years is dumb. It's so good. But like both of them just like I'm trying to think. What's the other one that I have that's Dickel juice? Like that Dickel juice just has just super unique flavor to me. Like it's just straight up like roasted almonds. Like
yes,
like all day.
The minerality doesn't kill me, right? Like I get it that people have feelings about that minerality in the taste. I do agree that it has like a little bit of a Flintstones Vitamin thing, but that doesn't like bring any negative connotation to me. But the 11 and the 5th, I took a chance in the 15 because that just hit shelves, and I have to say the 15 is really good. It's not. It doesn't have the bite that the 11 year has, but the 15 has a really good roasted. To your point, roasted almond, everything like that. So, yeah, agreed.
What did I don't know,
Mike. I don't know Mike well enough to know how many Dickels he has in his life.
I don't remember which one it was, but like 2 days after Dina and I got married, we were sitting on the beach in Ocean Island, North Carolina, and some dude walked up to us and he was like, "Hey, were you guys the ones that just got married this past weekend?" We're like, yeah, we were, and we're expecting, like, it's during COVID, and we're expecting this guy to be like, "Oh, how dare you," yada yada. And the guy was like, "Are you a whiskey or a wine drinker?" And I'm like, "I'm a whiskey drinker." And he's like, "All right, I'll be right back." And he comes back with the bottle of the George Dickel, the blue label, the bottled in bond. And I didn't look at the year. I don't know which one it was. And he's like, "I'm the founder of the Raleigh Durham Bourbon Society." He goes, "Congratulations," and just handed me a bottle of bourbon, an unopened bottle of the Dickel bottled in bond. He's like, "Congratulations, a gift from me to you." I was like, "Awesome, man. That's fucking sweet." I think his name is Chris, if I remember correctly. So Chris, if you happen to see this at some point in the future, thank you.
Have you tried it yet?
Oh, dude, I finished it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was gone that night.
It was last May. Yeah, no, I finished it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
was
realize.
last May. I finished it pretty quickly. But yeah, dude, that one reminded me like straight up. So Dan Greisen, Flintstones vitamins. That he said Flintstones vitamins, and like that was the first thing that I thought of was
now,
Flintstones
Dan,
vitamins.
do you like it or no? Because that's the thing. The thing I see a lot of people shitting on the 15. I saw it over in the Chicago Bourbon Exchange Society, whatever the hell it's called. And people were just dumping on it. They're dumping on the 15. And to me, it's like, I mean, it's good stuff, man. It's not, I don't know. I don't just taste Flintstone vitamins. There's, like you said, toasted
Dude,
almonds.
I think the 15 is way better than the 11 to me.
Oh, it is
toasted almond for sure. Toasted almond. I for sure remember that.
The 15 is I mean, it's just unrealistic expectations of anything going forward. It was so good, but the 15 they just released is really good. The cool thing too about this 15 single barrel, other than its weird shape, each one of these are an actual single barrel pick, right? So the pick I got is from Kenwood Liquors, and it's a 42.2 alcohol, so it's not very high. But like Gold Eagles, for example, theirs today was a 46.7, and then I think Binny's is around that range too. So each one of them will taste a little different. Dude,
this is I'm like that 100 proof for me. Like I love the higher proof bourbon, so it has to be a good bourbon for me to say, okay, like I'll sip on this like multiple times in a night. Yeah. But like the 100 proof range, like I feel like you can kind of go from like an okay to a good bourbon and not be like your tongue completely roasted, you know?
Yes.
And this one,
dude, that's one of my favorites. That's one of my
so
favorites.
Good. Yes.
It has some good kick to it though, right?
Yes. It has great
flavor.
I was expecting. Another one that I think for me is like I'm wondering like if it's some sort of like toasted barrel. Like I get a little like toasted, like same thing, toasted almond, like toasted like nuttiness to it.
I get almost like you'd mentioned toasted. I almost get like a bread quality to that one. Just like a good wheat bread. You know, I get like a bready quality to that one.
Oh the God, this is outstanding, man. This, if you see the Blackwell, Gold Eagle has it. And this is the thing I love about rum, man. $35, right? Like an outstanding limited edition pick. $35.
So I'm still letting these Elijah Craig barrel picks like air out a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I was like
519 is better. Man, 519 is way better now.
Nick, you got the A1. Did you get the A121?
Yes, I have all of them from 19 and then 20 and now the A121. 519, 520 are two in my I said in chat are two of the goats. I think they're outstanding. That's the one that Sharon's off camera right now. C920. Do you remember C920 the first time we drank it?
Who is this? The one that's on who is on the screen right now that just said, "Hey fellas."
That is Facebook user. It's literally what it says. Oh, it's Vince. It's Vince Ackerman.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the neck pours on them straight up like roasted my taste buds, like painfully.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
like, painfully. Like you breathe it in, you're like, it hurts right now to exist. My tongue hurts to exist. But you let it cool off. Really good.
Yeah, that's exactly what I read. And I was kind of bummed because I'm like, there's so much hype, you know, and then I one sip and I'm like, okay, like I'm never gonna be able to taste the rest of this glass.
I'm
like,
done for the night. Done for the night. Yeah, the 121 is really good. I think it's growing in I've had it for a little over a month when it came out, poured a couple pours. I was initially let down because of how well the rest of them had tasted. And then I revisited the A120 and the A119, and both of those are just different. And that's all I think A121 is right now, is people were expecting it. And I'm glad they didn't just follow the same years past. Yeah, it's just different. They went for more of like it's not cherry bomb or fruit bombs like the 519 and the 520 that you're drinking is.
Hey, so Jessel, I just checked the Facebook. Jessel Patel just logged in. So Jessel's our buddy from Hammer's Liquor over on the east side.
Nice.
He was the one that we picked the MGP with. So that one, like I said, guys, that one will be available. I think in September. Jessel, we actually just sampled Brandon, I don't know what I did with the bottle. It's somewhere around here. Brandon and I sampled it earlier, and it.
No, it's good.
So good, so good. So anyway, sorry to interrupt. I just
No, you're
figured
fine.
out how to go.
Josh Logan picked up a 15 tonight. Hey man, let me know. Like, you should post what you think of it, man. Just give some thoughts. I think the Dickel 15 is a sleeper right now.
So those are back on the shelves right now?
They just hit the shelves this week.
What's the price point on that?
So couple. If you go to Benny's, it's $69.99. Gold Eagle's pick, which has a little bit higher proof, was $59.99. And then Kenwood Liquors has it for $49.99. So
yeah, I think the ones that I got, like, you can get it like all day. Actually, Mike, you might be able to get it down there quite a bit because I know, like, yeah, like
and you know what? To be honest with you, I'm pretty sure I saw it like last week.
Yeah, because the guy that
I just walked right by it because Dickel is pretty.
You should see it more down there.
Down here.
Yeah.
Dickel's pretty prominent. Dude, I'll tell you what, man. I got to start going into North Carolina a little bit more because there's a little ABC store. I would say
ABC Liquors is there.
So North Carolina is a control state.
Oh, gotcha.
So there's a lot of AB. That's pretty much all you see in North Carolina.
Gotcha.
South Carolina is not a control state, but people can buy, can buy the storefront and then just kind of like lease it from an ABC, but then charge whatever they want because it's not a control state. So I was offered a Old Forester birthday bourbon 2017 or 18 for $800, and he offered me a Eagle Rare for $150. And I was like,
oh my god. Yeah.
But North Carolina, where we got married in Ocean Isle, I don't know if they're an hour north from here. Maybe I think that might be too far.
I crack up whenever I see those Eagle Rare picks and it's not even a store pick for $150.
It's just regular. Yeah.
Like I hope your shelves fall over.
Ocean Isle, North Carolina. That's where we got a lot of our liquor from for our wedding.
Yeah.
And they had a really, really good selection. So it's very possible that, this year I'll be making quite a few weekend trips up to North Carolina.
You definitely need to be hitting like all the CVS's and Walgreens down there because those freaking places, like I see people getting like Elijah Craig 18 there. Like what the hell? Like I've never seen that.
South Carolina, liquor isn't sold everywhere. Liquor is only sold Monday through Saturday until 7 p.m.
Yeah, that's how it was in Indiana.
Yeah. Sundays, you cannot buy liquor on Sundays. You can buy beer and wine on Sundays, but the ABC stores down here are exclusively liquor.
Yeah.
There's Total Wine, which is beer, wine, spirits.
Yep.
But the Total Wine, which is kind of like a Binny's, is broken up into two different segments. There's the beer and wine, and then there's another entrance for the spirits because on Sunday, spirit side has to be closed, and also the spirit side has to close at 7 p.m. Whereas the beer and wine is sold, 365 days a year until whatever time they close. So it's a little bit different. Honestly, I mean, I'm not going to a liquor store past 7 p.m. anyways.
I know it's just funny to like.
So, it doesn't really make any difference. It doesn't really make any difference to me. But So there's.
Do you have Kroger down there?
Yeah, we have Kroger, but not because of South Carolina. It's not the Kroger that you would find in like Kentucky or Tennessee or Florida or anything. It's the Kroger that they don't sell liquor.
Does Costco sell liquor?
Grocery stores cannot sell liquor. The only people that have a license to sell liquor are the ABC stores down here and like a Total Wine, or if you're a big brand liquor store.
Does Costco exist down there or no?
Costco exists, but they do not sell liquor.
They don't. Oh, that sucks. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
I wonder what bureaucrat came up with the whole like you can't sell on Sunday.
We're in the Bible Belt.
That's what I'm saying. They're like, I heard that serial killers are actually born from drinking spirits after 7 p.m.
Yeah, we're in the Bible Belt, so it's you got some of that THC.
Got the heavy char barrel. Give me that.
Gotta do it.
It's good stuff, man.
Dude.
I was at a place in Plainfield and they're like, hey, we have this. And I'm like, cool, what's the price? He's like, you're a good guy. I'll give it to you for $400. And I was like, nah, I'll let it sit. I'm good. I'm okay.
Crazy.
Yeah.
This is like one of the, like, I usually like, I mean, I pretty much go to Benny's like Milor's like, I'll run by there. Every once in a while, I'll go into Safeway, but like Safeway is usually the same way, like this freaking ridiculous pricing. I went there one day, like saw the little card, in the little case that they have. They put those little cards with the price.
Yeah.
And this is like Parker's like 10-year, and it was $150. I'm like, this has to be like a joke or something. So I like walked over to, or I was like, it's gone. I walk over to the guy and I was like, do you happen to have another one of those? And which bottle is it? And he was like, oh, that's like the Heavy Char 10-year that came out. And I'm like, oh shit. And then he's like, let me go in the back. I think I got one more. And he comes out with one. I was like, oh my God,
cool.
you're kidding me.
Play cool.
Like breathe, take a deep breath. Like, yeah, I'll take that.
I think I might take one of those. It's a little pricey.
Yeah. It's like, wow, I wanted to just say, like, that's like the first, like, almost MSRP bottle I've ever seen in my life at Safeway. Like, they'll have George T. Stagg for $800 in there.
That's actually, that's pretty surprising. The other one that sort of shocked me still that I told the story about, and just, like, the synopsis of it is it's pretty nuts, is that Pride. Pride in St. Charles, like, again, I couldn't find it for the life of me, like I said, because I was like, I went to the gas station. I'm like, I'm looking for this place called Pride. It says it's here, but it's not here. And she's like, yeah, it's right there. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize it was a gas station thing.
I just don't like that annoying like point system thing.
So
they have. It's like, what?
Here's the thing. I just chit chatting with them and the guy, manager, owner who happened to be there. It seems like you don't have to have the points if you just can talk to someone.
Kind of schmooze them a little bit.
Yeah, just hang out and chat pricks with them. But they did say, like, typically we reserve they had a Yamachi or I'm forgetting
the Yamazaki.
Yamazaki. They had a Yamazaki 18-year, and he's like, listen, you normally have to have points if you like it, whatever. I'm like, I mean, it's awesome. Don't get me wrong. I just I don't want to die when I go home. But they have some really cool picks there. They had like old elk and a lot of that other stuff, which I thought was really impressive. Big selection too. Like big selection. Surprisingly big selection.
Surprisingly big selection and surprisingly good prices too. They don't
very close to MSRP on almost everything.
Yeah.
I
remember just seeing I want to say it wasn't the very last time I was in there, but it was one of the times I walked in there and I was just kind of like browsing, and at the end, so like, you're facing the bourbon and you've got the cooler behind you, and then to your right is like, this whole shelf of bourbon. On the other side is all the craft stuff. Yeah. And I remember looking down, and all of a sudden I looked down there and I'm like, is that the Wild Turkey Master's Keep? Just sitting on the shelf? Just sitting on the shelf?
Wow.
And I don't remember what's MSRP for that. Like
180,
180 something like that. I think it's. I want to say they had it for like 184, 189.
I'll take it.
Something just literally just straight up just sitting on the shelf. They had lock, stock, and barrel.
You got that like Wild Turkey, like that Wild Turkey bottle too from. What was that, like the 80 proof or something like that? Or what was that blue bottle you got?
Oh, yeah, they have the 80 proof. Yeah, they had, or the 8, is it 81? 80 proof? 81
proof? Yeah, something like that. It was like an older bottle.
Like the 2015 releases.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just had them sitting on the shelf. Just like nobody went in there to buy them. Nobody went in there to buy them. So I was like, I saw like the old, and they're not good. I mean, they're not like, they're not anything to write home about. But I still have them still sealed. They're just gonna, when we move into our new house in middle of April, they'll go up on a shelf somewhere and just kind of.
Are you guys building?
Pretty good. No, we're moving into we bought a townhouse. We have a 10-year plan, so the townhouse fits into our 10-year plan.
That's
gotcha.
Great.
Okay, cool.
Honestly, townhouses are great, man.
So we have a spare bedroom. We have 2 spare bedrooms upstairs and then like a loft area. So one of the spare bedrooms we'll use as like as you would a spare bedroom. And then one of them is going to be kind of like our lounge. We're just going to call it our lounge. So we've dubbed it the Damn Bourbon Lounge, DAM, Dina and Mike Bourbon Lounge.
Nice.
Hey, like it.
So I created an Instagram page for it, and I posted one picture. I didn't hashtag anything. I didn't even have a profile picture, and we've already got like 12 followers.
Nice.
Just random people. Yeah, like I have done nothing to like even suggest that we're even a thing.
What about dams and drams?
Okay.
Drams and dam.
Dams and drams. That's not a bad
Dams
idea.
and drams.
But in the spare bedroom, which is a pretty decent sized spare bedroom, it's like 15 foot deep by, I don't know, 13 feet wide, something like that. But then there's a massive walk-in closet that's 5 feet deep by 15 feet long. So we're going to take that closet and we're going to put a Murphy door in it, so that you either slide the bookcase, open, and then that's where all the bourbon is kept, or you push the bookcase open and that's where. So we're gonna do something like that. Cool. And then we're gonna have like couches and chairs, and that's where we'll do like the Glassless Travel podcast, and that's where we'll have like the PlayStations and Nintendo Wii's and stuff like that. That'll all be set up there. It'll just be kind of like a hangout, just like a hangout area for like when people come over and it's like, hey, you want a drink? Let's go upstairs and I'll show you my,
You just sounded so old.
Show you the bourbon lounge. Yeah.
The Wii's,
yeah.
the PlayStations,
the Nintendo Wii's,
Segas,
the Sega Genesises. I'm curious as to what we've got quite a few viewers right now. I'm curious as to what you guys are. I know I see Dina is upstairs. She's watching. She's not drinking anything.
Dude, I'm telling you,
Josh Logan, Jessel. I don't know if Jessel's still watching. It looks like he might still be watching.
That Parker's tenure is just fantastic.
This is outstanding. So it's MGP juice.
Tell you what's real fantastic that I'm really digging right now.
Yeah.
Is this I don't know who this is from.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's a cool label.
I've heard that's the first time Glass Gem's ever been used in a bourbon.
I think so. Yeah. So I'm really digging
in the world.
I really enjoy that one.
You'd have to be a real idiot not to buy it.
Yeah. I'm curious as to what you guys are, what everybody out there in Facebook land is, or YouTube or whatever you watch. It looks like mostly Facebook. What you guys are all sipping on. I might actually have to go grab something else. I'm getting burnt out on.
Could be so stupid.
Some of
Tuesday tasters. What's up?
I said I don't know how anyone could be so stupid.
How anyone could be so stupid. Thanks. I appreciate the spousal support.
Yeah. He's really speaking your love language.
Yeah, what love language is that? Contempt?
It's right here.
All right, what are you going for, Mike?
I'm going to go grab something, I think. I'm going to go grab some. I don't know what I'm going to grab. I'm going to grab something nice, though. Something fancy. You guys keep the conversation going. Hold on one sec.
So
it's just all tasting different ones.
Branden, what do you know about Old Pepper?
Not a whole lot. I tried that. So it was like, I don't know, it was like maybe like the fall of last year when Benny's came out with their, I think it was a single barrel rye or something like that. A buddy of mine got it and I tried it. It was like $100 though, or something around there. I don't know what you paid for the one that you got. It was in like a smaller, like stubbier bottle.
This was $50.
Yeah, like I would probably pay that for the one I tried. It wasn't bad. I mean,
I'm really impressed by the rye balance in this. So I find that a lot of ryes recently that I've been having, and I like it. Don't get me wrong. Sharon's not a big fan of them, but the spicier ones, right? Like it hits the palate. The initial sip is like boom, spiciness, black pepper spiciness, and then some heat. This has this like initial almost really, really light white pepper-ish spiciness, and then it just calms and sort of like coats the mouth, and it's good. Spearmint.
Does it tell you the mash bill at all? Is it like 85-15?
Yeah, it's a distilled in Indiana with a 95 rye and a 5 malted.
Oh, okay. So 95.
4 year, 4 years. It's aged 4 years, 110 proof.
Nice.
One of 186 bottles. Really good though. James and the
Have you tried the Starlight Rye at all?
I have it. Yeah, so I was talking about that in chat. I have the Benny store pick of that. I was able to find one because my Benny's guy was like, "Hey, if you see one of these, grab it." Yeah. Man, is that good?
Yeah, dude.
It is
just waiting for the pick that we're gonna do. It's gonna be really good.
I can't wait because I just their stuff is great. And again, it's another one of those, they feel like they're a sleeper. You know what I mean? Like they're not talked about widely, but they're great.
Dude, what I love about them though is like they're like like as Christian would say, like they're just geeky about their bourbon. Like they're not here to like save the world like when it comes to bourbon. Like they just want to make good juice. Like they want to build a following and like they'll do their own thing. That's exactly what they did with their wine, and their wine is just phenomenal. If you ever get a chance to get it, like definitely try their wine.
I will.
It's great.
Do they have their wine locally or no?
I don't
or is
think
it harder
you can
to find?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I have to ask Christian that and see like how far distribution goes for that. I don't think you might have to be in Indiana to get that. I don't know if there's like different laws or whatever it is, but yeah.
I'm there all the time. So
But
Fan
yeah,
Grace
yeah.
is drinking Penelope Barrel Strength, which I've yet to have. I don't know why.
I haven't had any Penelope yet.
I haven't had any Penelope.
Penelope actually is so I really like their bourbon. I bought a bottle of their rye like a year ago. I think it was the Rye Humor.
Yeah.
That I bought.
Oh yeah.
And to be totally honest, I didn't really care for it, so I actually ended up giving it to Steven.
You're talking about Pinhook.
Pinhook. I'm talking about Pinhook. Yeah, Pinhook.
Yeah. Penelope is the
I
one
haven't had anything from Penelope.
Named it after his daughter.
Yes. Yeah. Mike is actually the owner. Mike is actually a really, really cool guy. He's scheduled. He should be on the show, The Glass Less Traveled. I think he's coming up this year.
Cool.
Sometime this year. He was supposed to be on last year, and it just didn't work out. We actually want to do we were talking about doing a barrel pick with Penelope or like some sort of private event.
They're kind of blowing up
Mike
too.
is a really cool guy. Oh yeah, big time.
I'm seeing them everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
I'm not a fan of Pinhook though. I agree. I tried a couple of theirs and I'm like,
it was
just like no fun. Yeah.
The Pinhook, I didn't care for the Rye Humor. I ended up giving that one to Steven, but I did try some. So Oak and Swine has 2 of their bourbons, maybe one of their bourbons. I think one of their bourbons that I tried. I actually really, really enjoyed it. It was like a gray wax.
Okay.
I marked it in the distiller app, but I don't remember what the name was.
Gotcha.
So Dan has got the Nelson Greenbriar Tennessee whiskey. That's one of my favorite labels.
How is it? It is an awesome label.
How
is it?
I actually really enjoyed it. It's a Tennessee whiskey through and through. It's real mild, real light. I don't want to say muted because it makes it sound bad, but it's not bold. It's a real good sipping bourbon.
Just say the word.
I wouldn't put it in the smooth. Yep, it's just smooth. It's just smooth sipping whiskey. But look at that label, dude.
God, the label's so good. I honestly, one of the biggest things that attracted me is so stupid. I'm such a sucker for marketing, but that label, right? You're like, oh, I love it. It looks like a speakeasy. Same thing with that one.
Those guys.
Damn drams. Yeah, maybe.
Let me find their. Where's? Here you go.
He is drinking Milort.
Steven's got Milort.
Whiskey Acres maple syrup cask.
For
Josh Logan.
Yeah. Who is that? Josh Logan. Let's see. Penelope. Yes, it is MGP. Dan, it's really 20. Yeah, it is. It's like $22. I mean, it's a really good.
Is that Whiskey Acres maple the pick that we're gonna do? Is it gonna be a 375?
Yeah,
like
so
the one.
Yeah, so they're all 375s, which is unfortunate, and it's probably going to be pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Because we're buying it from the distillery, and then we, have to, put tax on top of it and all that. So, I don't remember what their regular 375s go for the maple syrup, but it'll be
$50.
Yeah, so it'll be whatever that is plus tax and probably a couple bucks on top of that. Yeah, I'm really excited about that one. So that one will be like towards the I mentioned it to Nick and he's like, yeah, sure, we can do that. Just let me know in September. Oh, yeah, sure. So I'm gonna email him in July.
Hey, I was asking this question, Mike. What about if we did the Underground Railroad for if you can talk them into doing a single barrel rum pick out there? What if we did the Underground Railroad and I drive it back for you? Just a thought. Just tossing it out there.
Yeah, I could probably do that. Just don't get pulled over.
I won't get pulled over.
Not that anybody from Boot Hill is watching, but that's essentially what we did with Boot Hill. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
we
up?
Underground Railroaded that one.
I can't fit a pick in my Mustang.
By the way, back to Nelson's Greenbriar.
yeah.
If you ever get a chance, grab one of these bad boys.
Oh, dude.
These
What's the
Bell
deal with
Mead
that, man?
casts. Dude, they're discontinuing their cast strength. So if you ever
Right.
see one randomly, like grab it.
I haven't. I've seen the new reserve, which is like they've all made them the same 105 point whatever.
Yeah. The for some reason the cast strength is just packs so much more flavor. Like it's this one. This one's 125 proof, and
Damn.
I'm telling you, if I blindfolded you and put this in front of you, there's no way you would guess it's 125 proof. Like
Brandon,
they're
do me a
bomb.
favor. Send me a sample of that one.
Yeah, for sure. Okay,
I'll
I can do
reciprocate.
that.
I got some samples for you.
Yeah, and if you want
have a
one too, I can give you one.
Yeah,
If
I just need to try a sip of it. I just need
If
to know
you
what the hell
guys-
the deal's with it.
If you guys have a chance for real, actually go out to Bellmead Plantation.
Oh, yeah.
Just outside of Nashville. So the place is absolutely gorgeous for one, but that's what Nelson Greenbriar named their that whiskey after was Bellmead Plantation, just outside of Nashville. You
Really?
can tour the house. It's a stable. I mean, it's an old stable. It's an old Victorian mansion. Beautiful, beautiful tour. They have a restaurant there. Really good wine. And then they also sell the Bellmead. They sell them in gift packs. So you can buy like a 3-pack, and it's like $115 for the 3-pack of 375s. But it's usually like most of like the wine finishes, but they might have something different in there. Anyways, highly recommend going out to Bellmead Plantation just in general because it's a
They're
beautiful,
great
beautiful,
people too, dude.
yeah, super. Yeah, the two brothers that own Nelson Greenbriar.
They're good dudes.
Super, super cool people. Yeah.
I gotta find a place. If someone sees it, just buy it. I'll pay for it. I need to find one of these. I've seen the reserve. Like I can go buy the reserve at multiple binnies right now, but it's not that cast strength one. And I'm sort of kicking myself because I didn't grab it, and I saw it before. But it's funny. It's like the universe is telling me something every time I bump into. No, every time I bump into someone, we're talking. I'm like, hey, have you ever had Bell Mead? They're like, oh, the cast strength. Oh, the cast strength. So I have to give it a shot. I'm gonna like this sort of blows my mind. And Mike, I can send you a sample of this too because I did not.
Oh, the
expect
Kings.
this. So Kings County, right? I messaged him and like, hey, starting something, working on a channel, all this other stuff. I can't find your stuff in Illinois. Do you guys ever do samples? And they're like, yeah. What's your address? And I'm like, cool. What do I owe you? Like, no, we'll just send it out to you. And man, these guys sent a box. A wooden box with this info label, right? Like fact sheet of all the awards they've won and everything.
That's
Kings
really
County
cool.
Distillery in Brooklyn Navy Yard. I don't know. Well, it's funny. We discovered on when Mike and I hung out the other night with a bunch of other members in the after you guys.
By the way, I X'd out of that on accident. I couldn't get back.
Oh, you're fine. I kept it going for a little bit longer, and then we were all like, "Hey, we're pretty drunk." I was like, "I think I need to go to bed."
I was I was lit. I went upstairs and I was like, I gotta go back downstairs and make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Well, what people don't know is that Mike secretly admitted that he actually likes scotch, and he's full of shit. We started talking about scotch, right?
We talked about the
I don't like scotch.
But I like
We
this
had
one.
This one. Oh, I really like that
you
one.
guys kept mentioning the scotches that I actually like, which is weird because I don't like smoky profiles, but I fucking love Lagavulin. And then
yeah, we kept going through.
Why can't I think of the one?
I can't either, dude. I was pretty blitzed. Steven, have a good night.
Yeah, he logged up. Yeah, that was But
right. So here's the thing. So this came with a straight bourbon whiskey, 45 alcohol. I don't know how big this is. What, 200 milliliters? It came with. I'm really interested in this peated bourbon whiskey. So they make it with malt that's been smoked with peat, and then whiskey. Oh wait, sorry, that's this one. Whiskey made from peated malt, single malt. So I'm interested in how these things are going to turn out. I don't know much about them. Ironically, the one I really want to try for them, and I'm not complaining by any means, is their barrel strength. But I've heard some really good stuff about them. Have either of you ever had Kings County?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I have not.
I actually really enjoy them. So there's a couple places down in Kentucky that sell them pretty regularly. If I'm not mistaken, they're in New York, right?
Yeah, they're Brooklyn.
Yeah. Yeah, they haven't made it too big just yet. And this is going to sound like a really weird sentence, but if I remember correctly, they're forgettable.
Okay.
Nothing that really kind of like stuck out to me.
Yeah.
What was you said there was a barrel finish though? I don't remember having anything that had a barrel finish.
Straight bourbon whiskey, 45, peated bourbon whiskey, and then whiskey made from peated malt, single malt. So I've read, I should say. Kings County barrel strength is on the shelf down there. Dan, have you had it? I've read that it's actually very good. Like it's respectable.
Yeah, there's a barrel strength because like a buddy of mine that lives down in Atlanta actually has sent me like pretty much all the Dickel bottles that I have. That finds them down there. He sent me a picture of that one day and was like, "Do you know anything about this?" It was kind of pricey too. I don't remember what it was. But I remember it being a little pricey, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to spend that kind of money if I don't know anything about it.
And that was the thing for me. Like I remember,
it's good.
I don't even remember where I sampled it at.
Yeah,
I might have sampled it at home actually.
Which one?
But I do remember it was like seeing it on the shelf. I remember it just kind of being forgettable, and then I remember seeing it on the shelf after having sampled it already. And I was like, you know what? I don't know that I would spend that money.
Yeah.
I want to say it was like closer to the $100 mark, like 80.
Yeah. That sounds right. Sounds right.
Something like that. And I just, for some reason, like, I don't know, because I had already had it before, I just couldn't justify, spending. I mean, if it was something that I'd had before and I really, really enjoyed it, like, yeah, I'll justify spending like $60 or $70 on it. But Kings County, I just couldn't justify the price tag for it.
It's good.
But I went and grabbed. Hold on, I'm gonna grab my camera.
I was gonna say, what did you end up pouring? Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's right. You went to go grab
my camera's all wonky. I can't take it with me. Hold on. Am I good? Am I good there?
Yeah, you're good.
All right. So I'll show the bottle. Show the bottles one by one.
Ooh,
Shanks.
I call it Schnecks.
2020.
I'm drunk.
So Shanks 2020. That one, I think honestly, that one's gonna put Weller 12 to shame.
Really?
Whoa.
100%.
Whoa. Tattersall.
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 This is the 100 proof. I've had their Binny's pick that was 63.
I looked, I couldn't find it.
Dude, and that's why I want to do a pick with them so bad. I reached out to them, and they're like, yeah, absolutely, let's get something going for 2022 or 2021 even. Let's just get something going. So we'll do a pick with Tattersall because it's just so.
You raved about it. I was like, hey, can you see if you can find this anywhere in your system? And they're like, no one has it. I'm like, because you were singing its praises, and I trust your palate.
Hold on, I missed some comments. So here we go. So then Kings County barrel strength is on the shelf down here.
Kind of pricey, just okay. Whoa,
103. Yeah.
Woo!
Ooh, not for me. This one though, guys.
Oh man, I gotta try that. All right, so I'm gonna do the Kings County samples to you. I gotta try that, man.
The rum?
Yeah.
I'll put it in. I'll sample it out to you. I'll send a sample to you guys. And then Johnson, I'll send one to you as well. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man, if we could do a barrel pick, hand of God, dude, if we could do a barrel pick of this rum,
reach out and ask
in a heartbeat. But yeah, somebody would have to drive the 15 hours to come down here, hang out with me for a day or two, Dina and I, and we'd go to the beach and
that would be rough.
Oysters and just go and hang out, surf, whatever you want to do.
Our retirement goal, no joke, is Charleston, South Carolina. It's our favorite place we've ever been to. It's an hour and
40 minutes south from us.
There you go. It's our favorite place we've ever been to. And we might, I can't tell you, but we might do a family vacation this year with my sister. We'd like to do some with my mom, and just a lot of hard times that she's had. And the two finalized places, she just has to pick one, is Charleston. So we might be in Charleston this year, or Boulder, Colorado, which are two like polar opposites. But it's up to her.
Go to Charleston.
Yeah.
I want to go to Charleston. I'm trying to sell her on Charleston. I'm a big history nerd.
Have you been?
Oh yeah, it's my favorite place. I love it.
I love it. Yeah.
We did a
never live there.
spontaneous. Oh really? Why not?
No, it's too like close. Everything's like right on top of.
Oh.
We have friends that live in Charleston. So first of all, it's extremely expensive to live in Charleston.
Pretty pricey.
And everything is super, super old. So like if you want to live in Charleston, you cannot buy an apartment or a house that is 1910 or newer.
Oh, for sure.
Like, for real.
It's old America. I mean, it's colonial America,
yeah.
which I love. I toured the dungeons, which I thought was amazing.
The jails down
man.
there? Oh,
I'm a history nerd, so it's so cool to me. But I could see why you wouldn't want to
Shanks,
necessarily.
holy cow!
What is the Shanks? Talk to me about Shanks.
It's Michter's. It's an old Michter's. But this one, like,
okay. Both of
these I'd put this up against Weller's. I'd put this up.
Wow.
Wellers, plural.
That's what my mom. That's what my mom calls Wellers. Like, did you get that Wellers?
Wellers,
No,
Jules.
no.
Have you gone to the Jules?
I would put it up against all of the Wellers. I would put this up against.
What do you think about
Pappy? I'd go as high as I'd put it up against. Actually, shit. You know what?
Pappy 15. You're about to say
put it up against all the Pappy. I put it up against all the Pappy because to be totally honest with you, Pappy's just really not that.
No, the 12 year is about like as good as I think it gets. I think about anything higher than that, I think it's kind of boring. Like for the amount of money. Yeah,
you know what I love about Shanks, and if anybody out there has had, so I love Dusty bourbon, right? So I love like finding that
old Dusty,
the old Dusty, So I have like a whole bunch of Beam. I've got some old Ezra.
You have some cool decanters too that you've been.
Got some cool, I got some cool, just like stuff that I've collected, found at estate sales. I've got, my buddy. I got a buddy that I won't name him, but I got a buddy that lives back in Illinois that I'll shop in his. I'll shop.
Yeah, you showed me that picture.
Yeah, so Brandon, you know who he is. But I'll just see what he's got and what he's willing to get rid of. But a lot of it's like estate sales and stuff like that. But this Shanks just like, and I love that old, dusty, musty.
You got that from Woodman's?
Deep brown sugar. So this one actually I got from Global Brew in St. Charles.
That's right. Yeah.
Jessel Patel. Yeah, he hooked me up with this one. Good friend of mine, just super, super cool guy. I'm going to plug Hammer's Eastside Liquor and Global Brew, both St. Charles and Schaumburg.
For real.
They got some really good stuff.
They do.
Yeah. So the stuff at Global Brew is higher price, but they're not a liquor store. They're they sell beer, so they're going to be a little bit higher price, but they get stuff that you want, so if it's worth it to you to pay $10 or $20 extra, then by all means go in there. I usually go in there and just be like, hey man, I'm looking for this, like, can you set one aside or can I just come in there and get one, and I sit down and have some beers and hang out and just chit chat for a little while. Justin's just love the guy to death. Just super cool, super cool guy.
Good pours available too, right? For decent prices,
real good.
right?
Like if you man, Buffalo Trace is real hot right now, so everybody's after the Buffalo Trace. So they're they got Eagle Rare, E.H. Taylor, single barrel proof, small batch.
Rock
probably
Hill.
The Rye. I'm pretty sure they've got Shanks.
I need to try this Shanks.
Really
I'll be honest, I've never seen it. So
the Shanks and Baum burgers are the two that I haven't tried. They're supposedly like same, right?
Yeah, so I wish I could remember my history a little bit better. I'll have to do some more research on it, but it was basically the family that owned. I want to say it was the family that owned the distillery before it was called Michter, because Michter's is a combination of the two boys, Michael and something. I can't remember the two sons that own it now.
Michael and Tur.
Michael and Tur. Yeah. Victor.
Michael and Teresa.
I don't remember the guy's name, but it's Michael and something. So Shanks and the Baumburgers are pretty close. I actually like the Shanks a little bit better. I think it's a little bit more mellow, a little bit more smoothed out than the Bomberger. The 2019 release was fire, dude. Holy cow, was it good. 2020 release is absolutely fantastic. And that's one that I got this 6 months ago, and I'm at so this is where
You're savoring it.
I'm savoring it. Like when people come by, it's like, oh yeah, I got something good for you to try. So I tell people, like, if you've never had Pappy or you've never had anything from Weller, that's what you're gonna look for.
Yeah.
Is it allocated? Okay.
Yeah.
It's allocated.
It comes out once a year, maybe.
It was like the fall last year, I think.
Yeah, I want to say it comes out like once a year, and it usually comes out like around the time that all the Buffalo Trace stuff comes out.
Got it.
But you guys, holy shit, man, this Tattersall, man, I'm not kidding you, dude. Oh, it's so, and this is the 100 proof, so this one drinks a little bit mellower than the Binny's pick that I had from them, and the Binny's pick was just so good. Super bold. Like
that's the rum.
No, this is a rye.
Oh, it's a rye. Okay.
Is it spicy or what? Like, what do you get from it?
Cherry pie,
Really?
raisin, maple syrup soaked figs.
Whoa, wait.
Yeah.
Hold on. Here we go. I didn't check this. I didn't realize they had a listing for it. They didn't have this before. Tattersall. Okay. Woo. Tattersall Distilling. Rye cast strength Binny's hand picked. That's it, right? $45.
Dude, if it's $45, I pay. Oh no, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I paid about $45 for it. Yeah.
Geneva has 4 of them.
Buy them.
There you go.
Lincoln Park, Chicago has 11. They're the only ones.
Whoever is left watching, go to Binny's and get the Tattersall Binny's back.
I'm gonna go pick one up, man. I was really looking for it. Now they have it listed as this is a very robust rye. My tongue is losing taste. Or wintergreen dominates throughout with rich waves of caramel, dried citrus, vanilla toffee, and anise underneath. The mouthfeel is rich and chewy with a good weight. The finish is quite lengthy and sweet and spice fades slowly together. A dangerously drinkable rye.
Dangerously drinkable is correct. Yeah, that's definitely correct. So I like it because it's really big and bold. And it's got that, like, I really, really enjoy the flavor from it.
Yeah.
Let me see. Give me 1 second here. So I emailed him the other day.
It's not
I'm
me.
signing off and doing some important stuff here. So I emailed him the other day and I was like, hey, I know you guys offer a single barrel program. Like, we're a club. We have like 2,000 members in the Chicagoland suburbs. Is this something that you guys would be interested in? He's like, yeah. He emailed me back like the next day. He's like, yeah, man, I've heard of you guys. I'm actually a member of your group. I'm like,
what?
Oh, cool. Yeah. He's like, yeah, I've been a member of your group for like a year now. He goes, and yes, absolutely. So we're gonna work on it. We're gonna work on something with Tattersall. Probably early 2022, somewhere, somewhere around there. Just see what happens. If we can get really what I'm looking for is like I'd ideally like just a 25-gallon barrel. I don't want a 53-gallon barrel. I don't want 180, 200 bottles. I really just like something smaller, But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let's do this rum. Ooh, you guys.
I got to try it. Man, that wee beastie. Brendan, talk to me about Scotch. Yay or nay?
Man, no
judgment free.
No, about the only one that I can do is Aberlour Unbun Die. That's the one that I can handle that one. Like, I've been at like a couple different work events and I'm drinking like Macallan, like, was it 23 or something? Like something stupid. I'm just like, oh, it's just tough. I'm like, it was like $100 pour. Obviously, I'm not paying for it.
Real.
Like,
yeah.
I'll take a an early time bottled in bond, please. Yeah, like it's brutal. I don't know. I mean, and then like the rum, dude. Like too many cruise and rum college nights for me. I think back in the day, like I just like rum and tequila. Like, my wife's a big like mezcal, like tequila fan. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm slowly getting the mezcal, tequila as well. That Banez mezcal pick, man, is good. That Banez for $32 is really good.
yeah.
I was just gonna bring up the Ardbeg Wee Beastie, man. It is just it's stupid.
Solid.
It's superb, but it's smoky. You know,
Yeah.
it's like
it tastes like a campfire.
it tastes
or
like a
cigar,
campfire cigar
and I
slash.
love it.
I'm chewing on some smoked meats. Like it's just really good. But again, you have to like that flavor profile.
Mm-hmm.
And
See,
honestly,
I don't mind that. Like that's not bad. It's just like some of the I don't know if it's like the aged scotches or what, but they're just like they're so dry.
Oh
Like, I just-
yeah,
You know
For
what I mean? Like
sure.
you taste it and you're just
Yes.
like, well, there's nothing like it's like gone, you know? It's
well,
like,
it finishes and it's like I like
yeah,
dry
like
mouth,
I feel
right?
like I like
Yeah.
dry mouth or something. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
like you got
Yeah.
a Pinot, like a really like a Chardonnay or something crazy like that, like a champagne dryness.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, the Wee Beastie's really good. I was going somewhere with this and I totally just lost my train of thought. But God, what was I gonna say? Oh, rum. Where are you at, Brendan? What part of this? You're in Illinois, yeah?
Yeah, I'm in Geneva.
You're in Geneva. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to get Foursquare. Have you had Foursquare?
I haven't, no.
All right. I literally just got a box of sample things. So I'm gonna come drop off some Foursquare rum for you.
Okay, sounds good.
2007, 2008. I have Redoubtable. I have Noble Area. I have all the
Sweet.
big picks.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Hold on a minute.
I got
Send
you.
me some. Okay,
I got you.
okay.
I got you. Yeah, I got.
Because I got some local stuff down here. Like, I mean, to be totally honest with you, if you get like, I can put a package together. If you guys want some like local beers and like, there's a ton of local spirits down here.
Yeah.
Charleston Distilling has a really, really good rye. I'm like
so you get-
really super excited about.
I have their bourbon.
Their bourbon.
I haven't had
really,
the rye.
I really enjoy their bourbon. The rye, dude.
Yeah.
The rye is
Sit-
really
sit-
unique.
Send me some Trop Hop.
Some what?
Trop Hop.
The fuck is
Look
that?
look it up in Charleston, and then you'll laugh at me. Like look at the show. Look at the show Southern Charm. There's a guy on that show. The show was like set in Charleston, and he started his own brewery, and it's called Trop Hop.
Trop Hop beer. It's not just success; it's also tasty.
There's a brewery that's 10 maybe 15 minutes from us, called Tidal Creek. That has some really, really good stuff.
So
we went there the other night and got some flights, and they have a guest handle of a hard cider that, hand to God, is one of the best ciders I've ever had in my entire life.
Nice.
Really? Okay.
Oh my dude, it's so good. We
The,
almost had a growler of it.
And I totally just forgot. Charleston Distillery is, what is it called?
Charleston Distilling.
It's Charleston Distilling. The guy. So I was at Kenwood, and there was a guy from the distilling company there. There's not many workers there apparently, but he was there sampling it, and I tried it, and I was like, man, this is really good. I've never heard of you guys. He's like, hey, we're just starting to come to Illinois, whatever. Picked it up, $50, great store pick. A little hot, but it's calmed down.
Mm-hmm.
But he told me, he's like, hey, if you're ever in Charleston, go do the tour. I guess it's like state of the art. So
yeah,
if you get a chance to go see it.
They're pretty. They got their shit together down there.
He said they did it right. The owner is apparently from Chicago. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And he was a hedge fund, something like that, investor. He's a billionaire, and he always loved distilling, and he wanted to do it right. So he's like, hey, how do I do it right? And he built this state of the art facility.
I'm hoping to get them on the show this year. I'm going to try to do a lot more like local to South Carolina. There's a ton of breweries down here. There's not like Myrtle Beach, but just in like South and North Carolina. There's a ton. So I'm going to try to do a lot of them this year on the Glass Less Traveled podcast. There's a couple distilleries: Highwire Distillery, Charleston Distillery. Just some folks that I want to get in touch with. But I'll definitely. Oh, and then 1233. Ooh, man. So their rye whiskey. Oh, their rye is so good.
Is it distilling? What is it?
1233
Distillery. I think
12 is spelled out.
You have a guest.
33 the number. distillery. 1233. So it represents December of 1933, which is when Prohibition ended.
Who is this fellow graybeard?
The fellow graybeard. So that's Dan, my buddy Dan Johnson.
I love it, Dan.
How you doing?
Dan, you didn't
Good,
put a
man.
ceiling in your basement yet, I see.
No, it's all outside stuff now.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, it's weather's getting, we're in March 16th. So
It was a crisp 70 degrees today.
it was gloomy here today. It was real gloomy.
Cool, guys. That's really cool.
Yeah,
Real
it's like
gloomy.
30 here.
No snow at all.
We had 1 day of snow. And that was 1 day too much.
Does
Unreal.
Kentucky get snow really or no? Like, that's a rarity, right?
It does. It doesn't last very long, though.
Okay.
So we got 6 inches of snow 1 day, and it happened to be I had to shovel because we had company coming over, which
Of course.
really pissed me off.
Of course.
But and it was gone next day. So
Where at in Louisville you live in?
I'm in St. Matthews.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
we bought a house in the St. Matthews area, and
So nice area.
pretty nice.
Cool.
Dan, what are
I'm
you?
probably like 25 minutes from there, hometown.
Okay.
So yeah.
What did you put in your glass? Or are you drinking? Is I assume
I
Carrie's
was,
Oh, no.
Nelson. All right, there we go.
and I gotta be honest, like I opened it today, so I did pretty well.
Yeah, you're doing good.
That's not bad.
Is there anything notable about it other than, I mean, obviously the word smooth, and I read the release on it and everything like that. I'm like, is it just really just a good example of bourbon done well at an affordable price?
Yeah, I would say that sums it up.
Okay.
I was talking to my buddy Scott out in the Carolinas, and he thought it was kind of a raw oak taste to it, but I argued with him on that tonight, and he just gave it. But I didn't get any of that at all. There's some type of fruit in there. I'm gonna have to figure out what that is. But yeah, it was excellent. I was very happy, and it was $22. Like, my God, I'm a pretty cheap man sometimes with this hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to complain on that one for $22. I mean, there's no complaints whatsoever, and I finished it pretty quick actually. The Orlandos actually got it for me while they were down in Louisville.
Oh, okay.
They sent me a picture. They're like, "Hey, do you want this? It's $22." I'm like, "Sure, why not?"
Yeah, for $20.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. And
The label's cool as all. Like if you look at the label, it's awesome.
It is
cool.
great.
And I finished it really quick, man. I really enjoyed drinking it, and I wasn't even drinking it out of a Glencairn. I was drinking it out of a rocks glass. It was like one of those that I'm like, you know what? Like I don't need ice on this one because I think ice would ruin it. I think putting it in a cocktail would ruin it. But just drinking it neat, you know, a 2 ounce, 2.5 ounce pour, 3 ounce pour out of a rocks glass, I think is just perfect.
What's the proof on it? Is it 90?
It is. Hold on. I gotta do math.
Dan
Looks
Johnson's
like 91.
hitting the spot right now.
91,
That
okay.
must be, I would assume, hold on, let me log back in here. I would assume that's probably Dan Grayson.
Probably. So he gave me a tracking number, but there's nothing on its way. And
Yep.
pretty sure he's enjoying my bottles.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. So I'm curious. So we got still. I feel like we're just like hanging out now at this point. So we got a few people watching. Dina is upstairs right now.
How many people we got watching?
10.
Oh, nice.
It was 20 until I logged in.
Yeah, until you logged in, everybody's like, "Ooh, ball."
Whoa.
Who's this other gray guy? You're going to take one gray
So
beard.
I'm going back and forth. I wish I could move my camera over here to like show you guys. So I have the Whiskey Acres, Glass Gem, the Shanks, the Tattersall, and then the Aretusa rum from 1233. And then in the box next to me, I have a whole bunch of beer, and then I also have the Elijah Craig's from like all of them from 2019. But those are too high proof right now, so I'm trying to smooth out the playing field.
You know, I've been collecting those Elijah Craig barrel proofs and not opening them, and I don't know why.
I was gonna say,
Dude,
why
you gotta
not?
open them.
Yeah.
Probably because it's just me, and it's a pretty big bourbon.
It is, and they're hefty. Like they're hefty proofs too. So I like to I like to take really small pours throughout the night. And when you do an Elijah Craig, like to kick off the night, you're like, okay, can't really do the rest of my pours now. They're hefty.
But I think Mike said it. They make phenomenal cocktails.
Oh, yeah.
They make in a cocktail.
Really,
I need to.
really good cocktails. Yeah.
They're just awesome.
They punch through. I'm guessing. So I need to try one of those.
Yeah, they are. And I do the Old Forester 1920 in cocktails as well, and it is
Totally have done that, and it's
phenomenal.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes, agreed.
See,
in fact,
like you just need to get a lower proof Elijah Craig to just start it out with. That's the problem.
Enough with the flex.
what do you think of the
We
18?
know you got it.
I'll tell you, I really do enjoy Elijah Craig stuff. The 18 was sort of a letdown. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that I wouldn't want to pay over $200 for it. Like, actually, I should say that for pretty much all bourbon.
So I developed a bourbon relationship with the guys at Armanetti's in Huntley.
Mm-hmm.
They've helped me out a lot, and they tried to screw me over a lot. So it's a love-hate situation. And I walked away from the Elijah Craig 18 at 170, and I'm kind of regretting that.
I got mine for $130, and I'd pay $130 all day for it.
Okay, so I would pay $130 all day. When I drank it, the only time I'd ever seen it was for $250.
I wouldn't pay that.
Yeah, I thought it was good, but I was like, man, I'd rather just pay the $70 to $60 for the barrel proof and call it a day.
Right.
Yeah. No,
I would realistically, like, if I saw the 18 on the so the 23, I thought honestly was just not good at all. I didn't care for it. Like you would have to pay me to
that bad.
Yeah, I didn't care for it at all. It's just too it's just too much. Like
I've heard that too. It's not
oaky?
It's just not. It's I wouldn't say that. I mean it's oaky, but it's just I don't know. It's too woody in general. I didn't. It wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
18 though, like 18 was a pretty good. It's a pretty good bourbon.
Yeah.
I would honestly, if I saw it on the shelf for like 170, 180, I'd probably pull the trigger on it.
You'd be tempted, huh?
Yeah,
that'd be the
I'd probably
max
pull
that
the
I would
trigger.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I went like, when Dina and I were in Louisville. Dan, when did we come see you guys?
It was in September, I think.
I pulled the trigger on the $190 Old Carter.
Ooh,
It was my birthday, guys.
Let's do a little background on that. We had
birthday
done
weekend.
our tasting of 7 or 8 bottles, and then I took them to the liquor store.
Yeah,
Hell
so
yeah.
we sat at
loosens
Dan's
them
house.
up, right?
Yeah, we sat at Dan's
Mike's
house.
money was flowing.
we sat Dina and I sat at Dan's house with Carrie, Dan's wife, and we just all 4 of us in the backyard with their dog Whiskey, and then the neighbor's dog too. And we just like sampled through a whole bunch of bourbon. With the idea that like, okay, well, we have reservations at a restaurant at like 7 or 8 o'clock or something like that. It was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon at this point. We're like, oh, we got like five hours to kill. So we took a tour. We took a tour of Dan's house, which is small, doesn't take much.
Very small.
And then we sat outside, and Dan and I drank bourbon, and Carrie drove us around, and we went to a couple different liquor stores, and I got a bottle of Old Carter for $190. But granted, I've never seen Old Carter on the shelf here anywhere.
Not either. Yep. Same.
So
The only time I've ever seen that. The only time
Yeah,
I've ever seen that was in like DC or something. I saw it in Washington DC, like when we were out there like on a trip or something. And
I took 100% advantage of it. I saw it on the shelf. I also got a bottle of whatever the liquor store was. I got a bottle of their new riff.
For those of you that watched the Neat documentary, it's Old Time Liquors on Bardstown.
Oh yeah,
the one.
that's where you took them.
Yeah, the one Jackie's eye can.
Awesome. Cool.
And so he got the Old Carter, and then he convinced the owners to crack open the new riff pick of theirs, and we sampled that there, which was good enough for us to buy on the spot. And I had to subsequently send him another bottle because I don't think it lasted more than a couple of days.
I still have that second bottle too.
Is it a bourbon or a rye?
It's a bourbon.
It's
so good.
There you go.
Dude, those new riff picks. That's another one that we're looking
phenomenal.
at. 22.
New riff is cool, man. I really want to find their malted one they just came out with. I haven't seen it anywhere on the shelf.
I had to go to the
Not that
store
good.
to get that. I had to order it through their website and drive up there and get it.
Did you go get that very? Oh, it's not that good, huh? No,
I don't think it's that good.
Did you have the Christmas one?
I didn't have the Christmas one, and I didn't get the 15-year that they just.
I was just going to ask, did you find the 15-year?
No, it sold out in 2 minutes.
I mean, you had to I was going to say you had to pretty much, be living on the internet for that to happen.
So I've had good luck with Jackie's Ican's Old Forester picks. They'll send an email out, and you have basically 10 minutes to act on that email. And it's a
Hi, Kristen, if you're still watching.
Unless it's the birthday bourbon, you don't have 10 minutes. You have like
don't have
2 seconds.
But I've gotten 7 or 8 of Jackie's picks.
Yeah,
just as luck. I turned one down.
Barrel strength?
Several are barrel strength and several were the 100 proof.
Okay.
And I've liked them all.
So the Angel share should be hitting stores shortly.
Yeah, I don't. So that's the funny thing about Louisville, and I know Brandon probably knows this, is I can't find anything in stores that's allocated.
No,
this doesn't happen.
You
can do very good with store picks, and you can do very good with distillery releases.
Got it.
But if you're going to go try to find anything allocated, I haven't run across anything.
So it's interesting too, because you're in the Mecca, right? Like you're in the Jerusalem of bourbon, and you really have to have those relationships.
Yeah, you got to know somebody. Yeah,
you do. And I have a buddy in North Carolina, controlled state. He sends that stuff to me. Like,
oh, there you go.
Like,
not
okay.
me. Not me. So some of you guys so you had mentioned New Riff. I opened up an Excel spreadsheet here. So of the places that I had contacted this year, of places that we're hoping to do picks with 2022. So Old Forester is one of them, obviously the single barrel and or 100 proof.
Right.
Also Jack Daniels, the bourbon or the rye single barrel.
Yeah, those are cool.
Heaven Hill, the Elijah Craig barrel proof. Oh, God, I want that so bad. Old Scout, Knob Creek, Boot Hill. We'll probably do another one with Boot Hill. That one's might be a really unique, maybe like a port sherry Madeira, some sort of finish on that one. New Riff, Old Elk, Traverse City, Union Horse, Four Roses, Blom Rose, Wild Turkey, 1792, Copper and Kings.
I have a Copper and Kings brandy pick that I got.
Me too.
Westport.
Oh, I want to do Copper and Kings so bad.
It is.
And then we want to do. I'd like to do after this pick. I want to do another Starlight. I'd like to do Nulu as well. Out of Kentucky, I'd like to do them. Chattanooga, I'd like to do. I'd love to do a Maker's Mark some point next year. No. Uncle Nearest. I don't know if you guys have had Uncle Nearest, but their 1884 is just like, to me, it's just a mixer. The 1856, I think, is a good everyday kind of sipping bourbon. But if you haven't had the 1820, we did the very last event that we did in 2020 was a private dinner that we did with Uncle Nearest, and we got to sample the 1820.
Out of this world, huh? And I've heard nothing but praise for it,
dude. Unbelievably good.
Yeah.
So I'd love to do an 1820 pick with them. Driftless Glen, Buffalo Trace obviously is on the radar, but I doubt that'll happen. Garrison Bros, Tattersall obviously is on there. And then one of the other ones that I'm really interested in is Joseph Magnus.
Ooh. Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
Doing something. I'm interested in doing something. They do picks. Cool. It's just MGP juice, so I'd be interested in doing something with them. But I'm really shooting. I'm kind of shooting for the stars next year.
Like it.
I think if we can do a Jack Daniels or an Old Forester, I think that would sell pretty quickly. Tattersall, I think realistically would probably I'm sipping on it now. Even their bourbon. Ooh, their bourbon.
Throw Nashville Barrel Company. Throw that on the list. Let's try to get in touch with them. Because there's been a lot of picks, like even from back home, there's been a lot of picks that are coming out, and like I'm hearing some like pretty great things about them. So just throw them on there. Let's see what maybe we can get something going with them. I love the label on the bottle too. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, I
just saw them in the Liquor Barn app. Liquor Barn has a Nashville Barrel Company pick.
They got get one of those because I've heard they're phenomenal.
What about is Knob Creek doing picks yet? I thought they hadn't opened them. No,
they I don't know if they stopped doing picks.
They did for a bit.
But I know that a lot of their picks, the age statement has become less and less on them. So you could find a 15-year Knob Creek pick for like $40.
Yes.
I think
those days are gone.
Those have all been withered away.
They have been eaten alive. Yes.
But you know what?
There you go.
Here's
15 year for $35.
So
this is going to be
That's
real.
awesome.
This is going to be real controversial to some people, and I have a feeling that there's going to be some Facebook groups that if some people are following or watching this video from some of these Facebook groups are going to be really. They're going to call me a tater.
Oh God,
guys, bourbon doesn't need to be 10+ years old to be good.
no, it doesn't. No, it does not.
Like, it does not. Like, you can have a really good 2-year bourbon. You can have a good 3-year, 4-year. I've had some bourbons. We have a bourbon that was aged for a year in 10-gallon barrels. That's real good.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't have to be like.
Agreed.
You're
personally, I think there's like
your bourbon, and you're going to pay what, $80 for it, $90, $100 for it. Like, good for you, man. Cool.
There's
you got scammed, bro. That's what you got.
I think like after 10 years, like there is like a fine line. Like, you know, most bourbons after 10 years, like Weller 12, for example, like really great bourbon, but lower proof. Like, I feel like it's like there's a fine line between the age statement and the proof. Like, I feel like the higher the proof, or the higher the age and the higher the proof, it gets a little bit harsh, like as it gets older. And I don't know if that's just like my opinion or what, but like you look at like the Elijah Craig 18, you know, it's like 80, I don't know, 86 proof or 88 proof or something like that. I don't know what it is. It's 45%, whatever the math is on that. I don't feel like doing it right now. But anyways, 90 proof, I guess. But like, I just think that as it gets older and the higher proof it is, like it just becomes way more harsh. Like, so even though the age statement might read, you know, 6-7 years, like that proof range, I think is probably the more important piece, in my opinion.
Well, you lose that nuance, right? Like, and listen, I got a chance to sit down with Fred No not too long ago, and Fred No he said Booker, right? So Booker No, he said his grandpappy was nothing over 5-6 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was his preference. Jimmy Russell, well documented that he doesn't want. He hates old bourbon. Why? Because it's not getting drank. He doesn't. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to pass 6-7 years. Fred said that his preference was in that 9-year range. He really liked that. He did 12 just because, and his son, he likes sort of just the higher proof things, less about the age statement. I agree with you. I think there's John Glazer said from Compass Box, that's why they don't put any their NAS on them, non-age statement, because he wants you to like let your taste buds talk to you, not the number. And I think that a lot of people would be fooled if we did some blind taste tests with some of these bourbons that we're drinking, and I didn't tell you that maybe you had an 18, a 15, a 4, and a 1. You know, you might be able to tell in mouthfeel, but in terms of flavor, I don't know.
So I think what it is with Knob Creek is it's all perception and marketing.
Mm-hmm.
You could go get, a store pick at 14-year, then they stopped it. Now all of a sudden a 12-year cast strength's coming out at $95.
Yeah.
15 years coming out over $100.
Yeah.
But you're down to the 9-year store pick, and I think people just get offended by that. And it's just, and I'm not going to deny it. I've walked away from some Knob Creek store picks because it's 9 years, knowing less than a year ago I could get them for 12, 13, 14 year. And I'll have to change my attitude on that, or I'll probably miss out on some great bourbon.
Well, and I think to your point, right? Like it's hard. Supply and demand right now is also an issue, right? So like you're running into that demand is just through the roof, 400 to 500% up what it normally would be. And granted, they are all sitting on a lot of barrels, but you got to make that return too at the same time. So I'd hate for us to enter in an old Scout territory issue, right? Where they just burn through all of their aged barrels and their juice. And all of a sudden we're sitting on like this, we went to Dickel because they have the most barrels sitting around. So
like a good example for me is like these.
Yeah.
Like this is like one of the first. Like this is like one of the first like older bourbons that I bought, and I'm like a 24-year bourbon. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be great. And then I'm tasting. I'm like,
it's
like really
gross, isn't it?
It's like this is good. Such a letdown. Like,
is it just a mess on the palate? Is it just a mess?
there's just like nothing there. Like like you get all excited, you pour it. Like I mean, it has like some decent color to it, and then the finish, like there's no finish. There's
Weird.
really it's kind of like these orphan barrels, like you like there's so much hype, and I was excited, and then I'm like, okay, like 24-year bourbon, like I'll pour early times or Evan Williams bottled and bond like all day over this and probably get more flavor out of it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
So some of those, like with the orphan barrel, Diageo did a really, really good job of marketing those.
Yes.
I feel like at a certain point, the bourbon market is trying to break into the Scotch kind of, the Scotch world, where it's like, well, the higher, the higher the age, the more we can sell it for. Look at Heaven Hill. They're coming out with a 36-year, if I'm not mistaken, a 36-year bourbon. Like, how gross is that going to taste? But they're going to sell it for some ungodly amount of money on retail. And then some schmuck on Facebook is probably going to sell it for thousands and thousands of dollars just because it has a 36-year age statement on it.
I actually have tasting notes on it. If you want, I have an oak tree out in my yard. I can go chew on it.
You can just chew on it.
I can go chew on a branch, and I'll let you know what it tastes like.
It doesn't make sense. Like, to me, Nick, like you said, I mean, it's just those older bourbons. I mean, it's almost like the cork stays sealed, the wax stays unbroken.
Yeah.
And it just passes from person to person to person to person to sit on a shelf and say, like, when people come over, it's like, hey, look at what I have.
Isn't
that's
this
great?
cool?
Like, I saw some guy today that had the A.R. Hirsch 16-year. And he's like, yeah, I finally found one. Like, great. Are you going to open it?
No.
Like, people were like, oh, yeah, let me know the tasting notes on it. I'd love to see what it tastes like. And I commented, I was like, this guy's never going to open this thing. He's going to sell. He's going to sit on it for 5 years, and he's going to sell it to, Fred Minnick for, $10,000 because it's absurd at that point.
Well,
I don't open. Never do I want to come to a point where I'm buying bourbon for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, just to sit on it. Like, I know people that I'm friends with that are like that. That Dan, you probably know, sure. that are like that, and it's like, why? What's I don't understand. What's the point? What's your goal here? Like, yeah, you buy it, but like when I buy something from the 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s, I'm buying it because I want to try it.
I want the heritage. Yeah. I want to taste the history. I want to taste what that Rick House tasted like. I want to taste what the hands that rolled it. I mean, I don't want to actually taste their hands, but you get the idea, right? Like, you want to taste the heritage behind it. I think a good example of that I thought that actually speaks to what you're talking about, where people are just buying these crazy things and letting them sit, is I saw Binny's at Skokie has the Last Drop, the bottle of a Last Drop sitting there, right?
40 years, right?
Yeah. So it's a 40-year bottle. It's $4,500. But the thing that cracked me up about it, and the guy who was there was like, he's like, listen, I've had it. Like, I was lucky enough to taste it. He's like, it's good, but it's not $4,500 good. He's like, honestly, I would buy like a barrel bourbon craft spirits, and that to me would beat it. But I think it's funny is that I didn't know that it came with a little sampler. Huh. It comes with a little tiny mini version of the exact bottle so that you can open that and actually try it. Because these people are not buying it to drink it. They're buying it to have it sit on the shelf.
That's exactly why Buffalo Trace is doing that. So you can try that little sampler, and then you can take the full bottle and sell it for resale. So when Buffalo Trace or Sazerac says, "Oh, we have nothing to do with the secondary market. We sell," like,
you're
bullshit. Bullshit. You are selling your bourbon specifically because that people are going to trade it. Like, why is it so tough to find a bottle of Buffalo Trace for $23, $24 anymore?
I talked to a friend today.
Nowhere.
He's like, I found it. He's like, I found a bottle of Buffalo Trace. I'm like, which one? He's like, Buffalo Trace. It was $25. I'm like, and he's like, I haven't seen one in months. I'm like, really?
Yeah, you can't find it down here.
You can't find them.
You can't find it anywhere.
Interesting, because I mean, like, just locally at Jewel, they're all just sitting there. Like, no one's touching them right now.
Because nobody goes to Jewel to look.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Very true. I will say they do sell me on their marketing for Colonel Taylor or E.H. Taylor. I love those.
Here's
give me
the
that
thing.
cardboard tube.
I will buy all of those fucking tubes if I
I
see them.
love
If
them.
I see them at the right price.
Absolutely.
I have small batch, rye,
Yep.
barrel proof, and single barrel. I have
I'm jealous
four
of
of
the
them.
barrel proof. Damn
I
it.
have four of them. And to be honest with you, the barrel proof is my least favorite one.
I want the rye though. I have a sample of the rye, and god damn, that rye is good.
The rye is really good. I have a full bottle of it.
So if you're ever heading up northwest, check out Armanetti's in Huntley.
I will.
Daily fucking sipper right there. That bottle
Agreed.
is so damn good.
It
Too
really
bad
is.
Too bad you can't find it for $40 anymore.
Uh,
I'm curious. So I'm surprised. Like I feel like it's just like us four talking, but there's a few other people that are watching this. For the other people that are watching this, please comment whether it's YouTube or Facebook. I'd love to hear what you few are sipping on. What you guys are sipping on this evening. I didn't finish. I finished the glass. I poured a little tiny bit of the glass gem. I'm going back to the Shanks. You guys,
Yeah,
holy cow.
I don't know what Bryson's sending me, but I'm pretty convinced it's not going to be the glass gem.
What were you going to say? Armanetti's up in Huntley.
So they had the E.H. Taylor rye sitting on the shelves there for years. Like no one went in there to get it. I finally just said, I'm going to pick it up. So I picked it up before I left to move down here. It was, I think, $60 or $65, and they had probably 10 or 15 sitting on the shelf.
Well, I'll be damned. Okay.
So it's a smaller store, and they love gouging you on the Buffalo Trace products.
Never mind.
But for some reason, they didn't really on that. I got the small batch there and the rye there without any issues, and then the single barrel I happened to walk into a Binny's and they had it. They're not awful on the other stuff. They held the Wild Turkey Master Keep 17-year for me.
Cool.
I walked in there and said, "Hey, I'm looking for this." They took my name down and I came in there, and the next day, and there it was. But yeah, they have some stuff there. They had the Elijah Craig barrel proofs just sitting on the shelf. No problem finding it.
They do have a Master's Keep 17 in stock right now.
What's that?
They do have a Master's Keep 17 in stock right now on their website.
Do they?
It's $500.
So
no, I paid $170. So.
I got a free sample of a sample from Dan Greisen, and I poured it like 3 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago.
Say nothing.
Say
nothing ill on Jimmy Russell.
It was Wild Turkey.
Yeah, it's the thing, man.
Yeah, it was Wild Turkey. Like
for
here's
real,
the thing, like
he doesn't want age. He doesn't like the old ones. Like, he himself hates them.
I like Russells. I like Russells. I like 101. I like their single barrel Russell's picks. I like the the what is it like a 10-year rye or whatever it is. I like that stuff. For me, like 12 years is like the most. And then after that, it's like I don't really care after that point.
Did any of you see the Hunt and Gather Binny's pick they had a bit ago for $100? I grabbed one. Just off. Have you tried it?
Oh yeah. I remember when you posted that.
Do you know what it is?
On that for a while, Brandon.
It's like, is it Beam or is it there's some, I can't remember. Somebody told me.
It's Wild Turkey.
Is it Wild Turkey? Yeah.
It's 15-year Wild Turkey, man.
It definitely. Oh, actually, that reminds me. I have had that before.
It's good.
It wasn't bad. Yeah, it was pretty good.
It's good. Swine, the owner of Oak and Swine, him and I went to our buddy's office. We'll say, and we sampled the Hunter Gather, and it's Wild Turkey.
It's good.
It's Wild Turkey.
It's a 15-year Wild Turkey. The thing I'll tell you is it's almost like Wild Turkey's mash, but like they don't make it to be aged that long because it just tasted like Kentucky Spirit to me, right? Like it tasted like a higher proof Kentucky Spirit, which Kentucky Spirit's great. It's a great product.
I love, yeah.
It's a great bottle.
That's one of the picks that we want to do for next year.
Oh, I'd love to. I just totally injected myself into that. But it's good stuff. But to that point, right? Like it's 15 years and it just tastes like a little bit higher proof Kentucky Spirit.
Yeah, for $100.
Watching, by the way, because we're getting more viewers as we speak. If you guys are watching currently, Please comment, what you guys are drinking, what you guys are, looking forward to this year. Just comment, shoot the shit. We're just I feel like we're just chatting at this point now.
I'm gonna go on record again and say that this Fusion 4 is worth picking up. If you like Bardstown, $60. I'm already chewing through a lot of it tonight. It's really good. 94.9 proof. They did a good job on this one.
So I would love to partner with Blue Goose in St. Charles.
Yeah.
They're it's an upscale grocery store.
Yeah.
But
who's the owner? Do you
know? Paul Lencioni owns it. And he's invited, and I feel so bad because he's invited me so many times to come over. He's like, dude, just come over. Let me know when you're coming over. I've got an office upstairs. We basically just hang out and drink bourbon the whole time. Just give me a Friday you want to come over and I'll open up the door. I'm like, all right, cool, man. Yeah, sure. And I never made it over there.
What?
And I want to
introduce me to him.
When I come back into town, like when I go back into Chicago, like when I come back home, I'm definitely one of the first people that I call is gonna be Paul. Be like, hey, I'm in town. I've got like 3 hours. Let's do this. And that's when I want to talk to him about doing a store pick with Bardstown.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
If I'm not part of that, I'll burn the city to the ground.
So that's what I'd absolutely love to do is to do something with Bardstown. I know their distributor through Illinois, Momentum Beverage.
Mm-hmm.
One of their reps, Matt Alfano, is a good friend of mine.
Really?
So we worked together, in 2019, beginning of 2020, before COVID, to work on a bunch of different events that we wanted to do, that just never obviously came to fruition. But from my understanding, Paul Lencioni he's like, yeah, man, Matt comes here all the time. He's like, it's basically just like me and Matt, and then Nick Ford from 93 Octane, which is the Pride gas station.
Yeah.
The Pride. He's like, we just hang out and just drink beer and drink bourbon and just hang out. And I'm like, fuck, man, I'll be there. And I just never got around to doing it. So one of these days, when I come back into town, I'll get there. But I want to work on a store pick with them as well.
Do you know the story behind this thing too? The way they do the fusion picks? Because I didn't until I read about it, and I thought it was badass.
So my understanding, and I don't know, like, Dan, are you familiar with it? Because my understanding was just that they pick from different distilleries and blend.
They do, but the way they choose them is really unique, and I thought it was really cool. And I'm trying to find her name right now. But so what they do is they get their barrel picks and things like that. They start blending them, but they let the employees play with the blends, and then they do blind samples and they choose the one. They all vote and they choose, and then eventually that becomes the next one. That becomes the next pick. So this Fusion 4 pick is the executive chef. I believe her name is Nick, and they call her like the alchemist. She's the master chef, but she did this blend apparently.
So Nick, you're going there in September, you said?
Yeah, September.
So I've been there.
Can't wait.
First of all, don't underdress.
Okay.
Do not underdress.
Got it.
Wear nice clothes.
And a monocle. And
burger with fries.
Okay.
It's fantastic. Just get a burger and fries.
Got it.
Go to the rare and allocated room.
Oh God.
Spend some time in that room to go through some of the older stuff.
Yep.
And
buy it all.
Make sure you just recently got paid, because you're gonna spend money there.
I 100% will, dude. I am like a psychopath about Bardstown stuff. I absolutely adore it, and I know they're priced accordingly. They're just really good at blending, man.
If you spend, it wouldn't honestly surprise me if you came back and you're like, just me, just you, Nick, $1,000 easily, for you.
Is there? I mean, do they have some because I have most of their stuff. Do they have some off the wall stuff?
No, I'm saying you want to try any of the Old Crow chess pieces? Oh, they have them. Oh, you want to try a 1916 Old Carter? They've got it.
Oh,
you want to try some of that stuff.
We're talking. I'm thinking this.
Be prepared. No, not just their stuff. Be prepared to drop a lot of money.
Okay,
but also on their stuff. If they have it, get the Pfeiffer Pavitt Reserve.
I have tasted it.
Yeah, so I bought a bottle. That was the very first real expensive bottle that I bought at 120
What'd you think?
bucks. Oh, I loved it. I finished the whole thing. It was
good.
Fantastic. Yeah,
The one I haven't bought yet, and Niche has it, is the orange cacao.
Orange curacao.
Curacao.
Yeah, that one was really good. I really enjoyed that one. The Pfeiffer Pavitt Reserve, though, I highly, highly recommend.
Okay.
Picking up that one.
Got it. Man.
I'm going to continue on. God, that Shanks, man. I finished that Shanks. That reminds me of an old, dusty, musty basement bourbon.
Discovery 4, man. I can't get over Discovery 4 still.
Dan, are you drinking anything at all?
I'm done for the night because I got to work tomorrow.
Because I want to get up in the morning. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. I think I'm going to...
Yeah, I was going to say, this is probably a good time to taper down. I didn't realize it's 9:49 because of stupid daylight savings.
So we're
I'll agree.
10:50 here in Eastern. So.
Oof. Eastern time, worst time. Sorry.
I'll agree. I'll end broadcast now.